8765432-1, and we're live. Welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name is Hardline. I'm here with my extremely attractive friend Justin.
Hi.
My so-so looking friend Michael.
And hello to you all, and thank you for joining us.
And Christopher, who currently is moving furniture on the other side of that camera.
But I will wave on his behalf.
We're back with Game 7 of our Dragon Age series, a series that we've been doing for 7 games, which is GM'd by Justin. It's had its trials and tribulations. It's had its ups and downs in regards to our party, the way we work together. But I think we're nearing the part where it ends in a bloodbath. So, Justin, why don't you give us a little summary of what happened last time on Dragon Age?
Ends in a bloodbath. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Well, actually, it's funny because, okay, so yes, our party, the 3 adventurers, Imogen, Penth, and Grinner, respectively a mage, a warrior, and a rogue, they haven't really agreed on everything. And especially at the beginning of their adventure into... What is that? What are you doing?
I'm trying to bring up a picture of Chris to work as a stand-in, but it's not really working.
No, I don't think it's working, too.
Is he dressed as Harry Potter?
No, that's where he's getting his haircut for his wedding.
Oh, okay.
He's sitting in the barber chair.
I looked like he was wearing like a cape or something.
Yeah,
He's got the thing on.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
I'm just drinking coffee right now. Yeah, they didn't really get along too well at the beginning of the campaign, butting heads pretty much every decision that they made, and things were getting pretty intense. And then the last 2 sessions, they were isolated from their leader, 2 NPCs known as Renner and Gil, and they were forced to go into a dungeon in order to free Renner, who got trapped in a mysterious cave somewhere. And,
because he was an idiot, because stupid Renner decided to get up in the middle of the night and walk... Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I trigger the platform?
In his defense, you triggered the platform. Grinner triggered the platform. So
in my defense, he is
No
an
one
idiot.
saw pressure plates.
Yeah, well, actually, I did technically see them.
Yeah, and then you, like, forced it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I mean, it worked out. You guys got to go through that crazy dungeon. And what I thought was interesting was that was when everybody started to work together, when the NPCs were off and away, and the 3 PCs could really do their own thing. They started working together and getting along. And then by the end of it, I think those old feelings of tension and disagreement kind of popped right back, and
as they always should.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't think it's so much that while we're exploring, we all seem to value the same things. It's just that while we're in combat, we all have different ways of going about doing things.
Yeah. Some of us want to, kill the monster, and some of us want to, watch
Respect each other. Yes.
Yeah, respect each other's insane thoughts about punching a monster to death when you have a sword on your back. Yes.
And yet it all worked out well.
It did. I think it definitely worked out well.
So there are some pride situations, maybe. I don't want to
Just
say
a bit.
issues because it's great, but I mean that's out there and it's cool. I mean that's what makes a character a character. So anyways, just a quick recap of last week. We had our 2nd session where the PCs were trapped in the Tevinter research facilities. Fertility
clinic. The Tevinter fertility clinic.
That's right, yes. They got to visit their nephew. Yeah, so they were there, and some weird stuff happened. Imogen, the mage, actually passed out at one point, and he was kind of possessed for a little bit.
Did he? But I don't think he shared any of that with us, did he?
Not at all.
Not yet, at least.
However,
that's for the viewers.
Kick-ass attitude.
To Grinner and Penth, he basically just had a seizure.
Which we did nothing about.
No, you were slapping him. You were slapping his face. That's what.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was having a seizure when I slapped him. I was just slapping him.
Yes, if you're watching this and someone ever has a seizure, that's how you handle it.
Yes, you slap them as hard as you can so that they bite their own tongue off. That's 101 seizure stuff.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody that's what I told you. So yeah, that's basically it. No, actually, that's not it. Doug, their good old creature friend who was very faithful and friends with Grinner, ran off at one point, scouting ahead. And he found some grub in the facility's cauldrons.
As a slang for food, not an actual insect.
Not
an
insects.
actual grub.
No.
This is too painful. I can't recall this. My creature Doug.
Yeah, so the first thing that you'd actually made a connection with in a long time, right, Grinner?
Well, I tried to connect with everyone in my party, but yes, I did. It was the first thing I connected with. Some first horrible creature.
And so, what do you think happened with him? What was it? Do you think he was evil all along, or?
No. Yes. I mean, okay. Let's go on this basis. I think it reverted to its primal state, and I think you can't wrong. I don't think it was evil per se. I mean, not knowing what I know about Genlocks, I would assume that it wasn't evil per se. It was just reacting to the natural kind of primal instinct of kill or be killed, and maybe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
That's what I feel. I don't think it was a bad guy. What do you think, Imogen?
Yeah, no, I think it just got some food poisoning. Was a little off, a little unhappy tummy.
Had a little E. coli poisoning. Had the diarrhea.
It wasn't really sure how to express its emotions.
It just reacted. It was a reaction. That's all it was. I did feel like, no matter how much we would have tried to reason with it, it was a no-go for a communication role. So killing it was really the only option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those of you who weren't there to witness it, Doug was basically a creature that they found, or a creature who they later named Doug, was found at the first session that they arrived in the Taventa research facilities. And there should be a picture. Genlock Alpha.
He was a beautiful bastard. He had long golden hair, a beautiful mane, and a horn sticking out of the front of his head, and he looked like a horse, and he was white, and he would go. Am I thinking of a unicorn? I often confuse things for unicorns.
Yes. So creature started off as this little scrawny golem-like creature that scared the party at first, and they thought they were going to have to kill it, but then it followed them, and it had really sharp claws and stuff. Started following them along, and then once it got a hold of this food, it turned into
something that's black.
This. It turned into this. You see it?
Yes, we can see it on your screen share. Whoa, why do you have a tab for porn? What's Pornhub, Justin?
Pornhub is
what is this thing you have tabbed here?
It is a research website. Educational videos, that sort of thing.
Look at all you've given away now. We know that you bank with RBC. We know that, I'm assuming that ends for Netflix? Maybe?
Nude photos.
Nude photos, my bad. We know this little, next to Hotmail, we got this little plus sign or play sign, which must be some other porn thing. I'll be honest, I have no idea what that owl is. Reddit, I don't know what that P is. It looks like a PlayStation.
No, it's a torrent website.
Whoa! Fucking horn, man. Are you telling me that you illegally download things?
No, I only
actually no, because in Canada it's file sharing.
Are you telling me that you file share things?
I only file share legally.
Illegally?
I download legal torrents.
You legally illegal that makes sense to me. I'll be honest.
Oh, we're not doing the 18 plus today, eh?
No, I don't. We're always doing 18 plus. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
For sake of fairness, I will screen share me too. See, I got all these tabs up here. I got my Facebook, my Twitter. I don't think there's anything embarrassing here, so we're all good. I got a little keyboard, if anyone wants to see. See? I think that's fair.
This is all very important. Okay.
I think it's important because what it really is, it's a character study. It shows where our characters came from.
Okay, all right. I buy that. So your character played piano.
No, that was just no, that was something else. Okay. You know what I use that for? I bookmarked it so if I'm ever downloading a tab to play on the piano behind me or on my guitar,
yeah,
I want to make sure it might be in the same key of the original song. So I'll play a bit of the song. I'll be like, oh, okay, and then I'll play the chord that says, oh, yeah, it's the same key.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Not to digress, but perhaps we should digress back to playing.
Well, I'm kind of killing time because Chris isn't here yet. So
well, actually, one thing that I do want to talk about, the Invictus stream is basically your average nerd group. We love nerding around.
All right there, guys?
Nerd is a good thing. You look at that face as like it's a bad thing. No, nerd is good. That's a compliment. We love games of different types, like fantasy, like space, like Numenera, whatever.
Space isn't a category. It's science fiction.
Okay, science fiction. We like fantasy. We like science fiction. And right now, the three things that I'm most excited about personally are right now finishing this Dragon Age campaign. I'm excited about the ending there. I'm excited about starting our next campaign, which is going to be Numenera, which, if you haven't looked into it already and you're into role-playing games, check it out. It seems like a really immersive world, really exciting, cool stuff that I know very little about, which is even more exciting. And then lastly, I think we're all excited for this, maybe not Mike, Star Citizen.
Ooh. Oh. Star Citizen.
And I was thinking, I don't think anybody's done it, but wouldn't it be awesome if there was a Star Citizen tabletop RPG? At least right now.
That would be so sexy.
You know?
I'd be in for that.
I would be in. If you are into the idea of a Star Citizen RPG, let us know and we'll make it work.
We will make it happen like Terror... No, that's tasteless. That's a horrible joke. Continue. Is Tara Reid dead? Did she die?
I don't think so.
Who died?
I'm glad you caught yourself, Harlan.
No, she's not dead.
No.
Who died? Who's the one that reminds me of Tara? Oh, Brittany Murphy. Never mind then. Tara Reid joke. I don't know why she was my go-to.
Yeah,
poor Tara Reid.
Yeah.
All she's been through.
Yeah, I know. She's probably lived a rough life.
Oh yeah. That being said, Justin and I did end up going on Star Citizen the other night, and we played around a little bit of a kooky thing, and I got this really cool shot. Did you look at the pictures I posted, Justin?
No, I haven't seen them. Were they posted on the...
I posted them on our stream, but I got this really cool photo of you landing. This is Justin's ship in the background, and this is me looking up to him in awe. And I posted them all on our Google Plus, which is just Google Plus, right?
Yeah.
So you can take a look at them and like them, and or if you know nothing about this is Justin. This is my favorite. This was Justin. I shot him, and his character died with like one arm in the air, being like, "Why?" So I took a picture of it because I thought it was for goddamn hilarious. But if you don't know about Star Citizen, you have to check it out. It is a fantastic game by Chris Roberts and I think it's Roberts Space Industries or Cloud Imperium Games, sorry. Yeah. And it's a space simulator of the most epic proportions. It has flight, fighting, bounty hunting, merchant, delivering. It has pretty much everything that you can imagine, and it's in such a... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you say flight, fighting, but like when he says fighting, he means like first-person shooter fighting.
Yeah,
like you can get out of your ship and you can fire like that. So.
It has just the most diverse set of stuff, and I've been a backer since 2012, so I have been waiting 3 years for this thing. These guys shortly thereafter, and even a few other friends we've gotten. And the game, we've been following the progress the entire time, and in fact, the Invictus stream, the name Invictus, came from what we set up as our group, our organization under Star Citizen, and it is immense. And I highly recommend you check out Star Citizen at their website or the Reddit, the subreddit r/Star Citizen, all one word, I believe it is, and check it out because it is a really, really exciting game.
Yes, and for us, for Invictus, my main thing with Star Citizen, I really want to role play. Like I want to go to work and do my Justin by day sort of Joe Schmo treadmill thing, and
Justin
then I
by
want to
day, superhero by night.
exactly, and then I want to come home and be like, this is Pivot from Invictus signing in, blah 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 blah. Gonna get in my spaceship and fly around and do some crazy stuff. I think that's cool. So, I mean, I really want to get into the role playing right now as soon as possible. So, if you have any suggestions or ideas as to how we can make a Star Citizen tabletop RPG, just like what we're doing here, work, please let us know. Like, I've heard of GURPS. The GURPS system might be good. Star Wars system, we might be able to adapt for it.
Definitely. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I don't know. We could make
that being said, actually, you did a really cool thing. You said the top 3 things you're excited for, and I want to mention the top 3 things that I'm excited for, because as you mentioned, we are nerds on this stream, and we love all things nerdy. 3 things that I'm really excited for, especially this year: Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, that's coming out. And in that same vein, I am also a big Battlefield fan. I'm playing Battlefield Hardline right now. I was a big fan of Battlefield 4, and I am ecstatic that Battlefront is coming back, and it's being done by DICE, who are the guys who did Battlefield. So I'm super excited about that. I think that is going to be a really epic game, and I'm just praying that they do the same things they did for Battlefront 2, because I was a huge Battlefront 2 fan. And I don't have a third. I can make one up.
Star Citizen is probably up there too.
Star Citizen is definitely up there. I wanted to mention some of the other things, but I can't think of anything, so probably Star Citizen again, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. And this is going to be a good year for nerds, I think.
Oh, 2015, yeah.
2015,
well, there's the Dungeons & Dragons Stormcoast.
Oh, that's right, Stormcoast. That looks exciting as hell. I'm really excited. For those of you who don't know, it is by who's the guy who does? Is it White Wolf Publishing? No. Who does D&D?
Oh, Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast. Thanks, Mike. Wizards of the Coast is working with a company. I can't remember the name of the company who's creating this game, Legends of the Stormcoast. Yeah. Which has a kind of a 4-player top-down mode, typical with the what was that one? Oh God, I'm so bad with names today. Divinity: Original Sins and other games of that type, where you kind of manage a party of 4. But they're also releasing the game with a version of like a DM, where one player gets to set up the map and kind of have enemies and things like that, and the other players get to play as individual characters and work through. It's like a DM mode, I think they're calling it, and I am extremely excited for that.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh my lord.
Oh my lord. How are we gonna play? How are we gonna play that? Like, are we gonna do that on Twitch? Like, I'd love to live stream us playing that and role playing with that, but what's the way to do that? Do you guys know?
I don't know. Maybe just like this. Maybe do it, record it, and put it post. I honestly don't know. We could try a few different ways and see what works best.
Yeah.
That being said, live chat is meant to be enabled, and I keep forgetting it to do it so that people can chat. I know a few people had posted and said, "Oh, we can't live chat." And it seems it's supposed to be to the right of the video player only when your event is live. We are live, but I do not see anything to the right of the video player. So if anyone knows how I can enable chat, I'd be more than happy to enable it.
Yeah, that'd be great to have that. Not have to jump to Twitter and all that.
Yeah, because as much as I like Twitter, and I think it's a lot. The reason I like Twitter is because, like, for me, I can watch it on my phone if it comes in, and I don't have to, be switching through things.
Yeah, true. I see. I have this piece of work here. This is my phone.
What is it? A Nokia?
Actually, I lost the N, the K, the I, the A, so it's just an O.
Actually, it's a Nokia.
Yeah. So this fits very easily into the palm of my hand.
Oh, so it's a Palm Pilot.
I guess so. It's more like a pager, really.
So when Justin said that we're nerds, we're the kind of nerds that like science fiction and fantasy and stuff. We're not the kind of nerds who have expensive gadgets. We're the kind of nerds who have Nokia phones.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
sometimes...
in fairness,
and
the footling is 7 feet tall, and his hands are a foot long each. So that Nokia in my hand is, looks like a tablet.
You sound like you're being auto-tuned right now to me, and that's exciting.
You sound like someone from Portal. One
Yeah.
of the portal characters.
Please don't go. But I get the gist of what he was saying. He was saying for a guy Justin's size who has like huge hands, that phone is extra small. For a normal sized person, it wouldn't be that small. It'd be this size in my hand. For Justin, it's like that.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Because you're a monster.
Because you're a monster.
That being said, since I can't figure out how to enable the live, please feel free to tweet us at Invictus Stream with suggestions for this game, which we're about to start shortly as soon as Justin or Chris finishes whatever he's doing.
Yes.
Suggestions and things that we can do to, escape whatever difficult situations might be approaching.
And also, like right now we're just kind of vamping, waiting for Chris to get back. But if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about or give our 2 cents on, feel free to post that. And
because otherwise, I'll just start giving my opinion on things that no one really cares about.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. Harlan has a lot of opinions. I am opinionated. That being said, I will give an opinion because out of all 4 of these guys, I'm the only one currently playing Battlefield Hardline.
Right.
And I figured because a lot of our videos on our stream are video game first impressions, things like that, I would give a really quick first impressions if that's okay with everybody.
Of course, please.
Excellent. So for those of you who don't know, Battlefield Hardline is the latest iteration of the Battlefield franchise or series, or however you want to call it, and it's kind of cops versus robbers. My first impressions are as such. It's a very fun game. I really like the cops and robbers dynamic. I think it's really fun. I like the fact that they added music in cars, and they have that song that goes, whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police. So every time you get in a cop car and that radio starts off, it's like, and it gets exciting. It gets you pumped up, and it's very quick. It feels a lot quicker than the other Battlefield games. I got to say, the cars really make it something interesting. I was very excited to play in those. It's kind of like Need for Speed with guns. I could be peeling in the front seat, and a dude's in the side seat leaning out, taking down a helicopter and shit like that. So it's very fun. Drawbacks, I would say, currently the price point is it's a little too steep for I think what it's worth. That being said, there is a lot of value in it. I think what I mean by worth is in relation to Battlefield 4. If you have Battlefield 4, it's kind of hard to justify buying a new title because it's not all that different. But in regards to if this was your first Battlefield game and you just want to pick something up, it is definitely worth it. So there's kind of a line there, and it's kind of unfair because it's tough to judge something entirely in its own merit in regards to a game like this because it's so based on what company did it. And that being said, it's actually by Visceral Games, which is the guys who did Dead Space, which is an entirely different idea behind it because normally it's just dice. That and the other thing that kind of bothered me were the graphics. They're definitely not as good as Battlefield 4. I think they let some of them go so that it could be a little quicker pace. Because again, the loading times, everything in the game is faster. Battlefield 4, even on my SSD, takes a bit of time to load. That's obviously more because it's trying to bring all the players into the game at the same time and make it so that everyone's getting in there. They really made that a lot quicker for the newest Battlefield game. So there you go. So there's some quick first impressions. So if you're thinking about getting it and you don't have one of the Battlefield games, definitely check it out. If you do have one of the Battlefield games, it might also be worth checking out anyway because it is fun. And since none of these guys have it, I'm looking for someone to play with. Please play with me.
Yeah, actually, and that's true. Like, if you end up getting any of these games as someone watching, please let us know. We would love to meet with you in the online world of video games and, hang out, shoot the shit, and play game.
Yes, we love shooting shit. It's the one thing we do the best. Now, Mike, you're popping in and out.
Yeah, it's not just my laptop. It's I think it's the internet here because Chris's computer keeps locking up too.
It's fine, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
No, because I'm watching it, and when mine locks up, his locks up.
I believe you, Mike. I believe you.
It's just hard to see with Chris's because he's not sitting there moving.
All right, so let's get into more controversial topics.
What are the Twitter trends right now? We got Steven
Zion Malik. I don't know who Zion Malik is.
Oh, I got something to talk about.
I.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
In what regard?
He's got a new movie coming out called
Yeah, the zombie movie. That looked really cool.
Yes, it does look cool. He looks like he's playing a very different character than he normally does. I hate to, I hate to say this about him, but he is kind of typecast. You know?
I hate you. That's such a lie. No, I agree. No. You're 100% right. He is. Yeah, he is. And whenever you see Arnold, he's so Arnold.
I love him. Like he's got like motivational videos that I like that really move me. But this movie looks awesome. I can't wait to see it. It's a zombie movie. It's about his daughter turning into a zombie slowly. It's not like a fast thing. It's slowly. So he has some time to spend with her before she actually turns. And he's got to get her back into quarantine before she turns into a full zombie. Whether or not he does, that is yet to be seen. But if you haven't seen it yet, check out the trailer.
We should have a group watching party. Invite everybody over and just sit arm in arm. What is going on? He's on two cameras now.
He's on two cameras, yeah.
Just sit everybody over, and we'll even live stream it. We'll do our reactions to it. We'll be like, oh, no way. Oh.
What is this? Are we like in a dungeon?
No, this was me with my arm around you and Mike.
Oh, okay.
This is how I said it to you guys.
You were like this. I was like, how skinny do you think I am?
You're pretty damn skinny. Mike's a little chunkier, but not in a bad way. He's like chunky, like built.
Built chunks.
Chunks of muscle. He's a chunky muscle man.
All right, so this is going to be interesting. We got both Mike and Chris bumping in and out.
I know. I got lots to talk about, though. Here, we'll go on this one. Here's my other issue. I got a nice little Reddit fight today.
Uh-oh.
Not a Reddit fight. So it's to do with Star Citizen. So this might be boring if you don't know anything about Star Citizen. But when Star Citizen started, they had a talk show at the end of the verse called Wingman's Hangar, and it was hosted by a guy named Eric Peterson. Him and a few other guys from their location, I believe it was in Austin, ended up leaving Star Citizen Cloud Imperium Games to form their own company, who after which they launched their own game, and it's on Kickstarter right now. And their latest Kickstarter game is the latest iteration of Descent. If you ever played Descent, it is an old, I think it was like 1990 space game where you'd kind of go through these tunnels. Do you remember playing that, Justin? Did you ever play that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I played it, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Doom, but you're in a spaceship.
Very similar, yeah. They had the 6 degrees of freedom or whatever, but or maybe they didn't. Maybe they only had 4 or something.
They did. It was confusing.
That's all. But anyway, so they launched a new one. Recently, rather today, the new CEO, did an AMA on Reddit, and a lot of the questions were very supportive. But I had to ask a few questions because I felt that a lot of what they were posting and kind of what they're going. What they're kind of going with for this iteration of it felt very cash grabby. So I actually posted on his AMA and I said that. I was kind of like, hey man, this guy's kind of feels like you're doing a bit of a cash grab. Care to explain? And he gave kind of a non-answer. And if you're a Kickstarter backer, one thing I would like to recommend is to not just look at the games that you're backing, but also look at similar games that have succeeded and what their price point was and what they were asking and what they were offering. Because one of the things I found with this game, and whether you like it or hate it is totally up to you, back it, don't back it, I'm only giving my 2 cents. But I backed a few games. Star Citizen was one on Kickstarter, Kingdom Come Deliverance was another, and Darkest Dungeon. And I found that the games that generally succeed are the ones that have lower marks. For example, Darkest Dungeon, which was an excellent game. Yes, and Jason just tweeted us and he said Descent was an amazing game. And it was an amazing game. And that's part of the reason I looked into their Kickstarter as well, because it was such an exciting game. I was like, awesome. But they're asking for $600,000, which is just over $500,000. And really what they're offering is no more conceptually than the was. There's no... It's the same game. It's better graphics. They're taking a little further with different modes, but they're not offering anything outside of that. And I kind of felt a little put off by that. So if you are a Kickstarter backer or you're interested in looking at Kickstarter, take a look at other games. Darkest Dungeon, a game that succeeded with $300,000, only asked for $75,000. So you look at a game like Darkest Dungeon, which succeeded and is an excellent game with lots of replayability, asking for $75,000. And then the guys who came from Star Citizen, which is now at $78 million, asking for something over $500,000. And it feels a little cash grabby. Like they saw what Chris Roberts did and said, yeah, I think we could probably do this better. And then they try to do it themselves so they can get some money. So true or false, I don't know. But I'm going to stop talking because we just got an email from our good friend Jason Randall with a question. And he asked, if I were to GM a Dragon Age game, what games or books should I play or read to prepare myself for? Justin, why don't you field this one?
Okay, well, I mean, first and foremost, Green Ronin published the Dragon Age campaign books, which I believe these editions, they did like a box set editions where you do like the first box set is from level 1 to 5 and it has like the core rule book, the GM book, and it looks like this. So you can still order this from some websites. I don't think that you can order a hard copy from Green Ronin, but obviously, yes, this is what you'd want to get. They are coming out with the core rule book soon, which is going to be a big, thick, like, you know, regular-sized tabletop role-playing game book. So definitely you want to get your hands on that so that you understand the mechanics of the game and the lore of Dragon Age. When I'm building campaigns, I draw a lot of my storyline from pretty much anything that's happening in my life. I work in nursing homes, so sometimes I have residents who are just really interesting characters. So I will draw inspiration from those residents, whatever. I don't really read too many books, though, to be honest. Fan fiction, other things. I did read Patrick Rothfuss, Name of the Wind, the first 2 books from that series, which is great. That's given me a lot of inspiration. Watching shows on TV, you know, stuff like, well, stuff that I think is less cliche. I remember there was one anime that I watched too. So yeah, stuff like that. It's I don't limit myself to books, but yeah. Do you want to add on anything, Harlan?
Yeah, if you're looking into the Dragon Age, one thing I would definitely recommend doing is playing the video game, because it actually was based on a video game. And it's called Dragon Age Origins, and that's where it all started. The entire world takes place there, and then they had Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age 2 was kind of... did you play it?
I played like the first level.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
I didn't really get far enough in to see whether or not I liked it, but I'd read a lot of bad reviews, so...
Yeah, Dragon Age 1 was great. I even remember some of the companions, Alistair, Morgana, or Morgan? Morgan, that's right. Liliana, that's what I'm thinking of. And was Varric in that one? No, the second one. Either way, the first one was great. Great story, great amount of replayability. The second one was fine, except it took place only in the confines of a city, of Denerim. The entire game took place in Denerim, which I thought was kind of a cop-out. A lot of repeated locations. I remember running through... you know, like you chase a guy into like a under area or something like that, and then you go into the next one, it's the same under area, just like flipped under area. It's a little cheesy, and they put it out really quick after Dragon Age. I think they were trying to coattail the success of Dragon Age Origins with Dragon Age 2, because I think it was 2009 to 2011. Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm on my 54th hour, I think, last I checked.
Oh wow!
It is a much better game. It is Skyrim meets Dragon Age. If you haven't played Dragon Age, the closest series I could recommend or compare Dragon Age to would be not BioShock. What the hell is that? What's the other big one by BioWare? Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, yeah.
It's Mass Effect in a fantasy setting. You have a main character that you can customize. The customizability alone in the facial features of your character in Dragon Age Inquisition are phenomenal.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think one thing that it has a lot to do in common with Mass Effect is how much emphasis it places on your character and how your character is influencing the world around you.
Yes, and Dragon Age Inquisition does the same thing. It lets you make a lot of tough calls, obviously, but it lets you follow through with them, and I thought that was really cool. Dragon Age Inquisition, I would say the one drawback? No, not a drawback. There's so much to do And you compare it to a game like Skyrim, which is very similar, not in gameplay at all, but I guess stylistically, you're in a big open, area. Dragon Age is more segregated. You can't leave an area, but I would say if you put them all together, you have the size of Skyrim in Dragon Age, but set up in different maps. Going forward in that regard, it has much more diversity. Dragon Age, you have where you're running over sandy dunes, which are beautiful, and the Frostback Mountains, which are beautiful. In fact, your main castle in Dragon Age Inquisition is in the Frostback Mountains. It's called Skyhold. So I'm going to be going there in this game. I can't. But one of the drawbacks with that is while there is a lot, there's just so many notifications. It's overwhelming. With Skyrim, I always remember you do get a lot of things, but at least with PC mods, you can kind of ignore them and turn them off and just do your own thing. You can really if you like role-playing, and I often do, you can kind of get off your horse in Skyrim, you can walk next to a lake and just chill for a bit. It feels more like a simulator in certain aspects at times in Skyrim. With Dragon Age, it is always a game. To me, it's never lost the feeling of being a game. It always feels like, it's a grind. You press 1 to shoot your bow, and it is very MMO-y in that aspect. You have your hotkeys to trigger effects and things like that. But that being said, if you liked Mass Effect, Dragon Age is an excellent game, and if you're looking to do the role-playing game, that is the first and best place to start. Play the games, because that's exactly the world that you're in.
Yeah, getting an understanding of the lore. That's the main thing, is if you want to run a Dragon Age game, getting an understanding of the lore is going to be the most important thing, because you're going to know, as a GM, you're going to be able to draw from that encyclopedia of lore in your head, and if you've played the games, you're going to have a much better knowledge of that. That being said, with me and my style of GMing, a lot of GMs really like to prepare a lot beforehand and have their entire world ready, have different variables of everything that the PCs could do and everything that might happen in the world, and if they do this too quickly, then this happens, or this, lots of cause and effect, which is great. It takes a lot of time to do that. So one of the greatest tools I have for making my sessions is the players themselves. I will get a good idea for a first session and maybe have a really good plan for the next few sessions afterwards, and a general story arc of where I want the adventure to go. But at the end of the day, most of the stuff that happens in between is coming from the players themselves. The players will have different ideas that in that moment you'll be thinking as a GM, well, I wasn't planning on this happening, but I really like that idea. So either we can go with that now, or we can add it in later, throw it in later. I find building off of the characters is the most interesting for me as a GM, but also most interesting for the players to see that their character actually has substance in the world.
Substance abuse. Let's be honest. It's about drugs. We just had a notification from David, and he said, some suggestions I've been thinking about, could the video images as you play be equal in sizes? And I think what he's referring to is, because I have the banner, most of the time when we're watching, my video pops up when there's 3 along it. So I think we should either all put the banner or all get rid of the banner. I have no problem getting rid of the banner right now, because most of us, at this point, if you're watching, probably know who our characters are. And since I'm the only one with a banner, I will turn it off for the time being.
No, I can turn it on. I think it makes sense to have the banner on personally.
Well, just totally negate everything I just said. Fine. But anyway, good. Thank you for the comment, David, and let us know if that fixes it. And good question, Jason. That was a good little Dragon Age playing game. That being said, there's a ton of role-playing games that we'd love to try. There was another viewer who recommended us playing a game called Monster Island, the game of giant monster combat, which I wouldn't mind looking into, and I would actually like to try at one point in one of our one-shot campaigns. And there's also another role-playing game that is extremely popular that I wouldn't mind trying at some point called Vampire the Masquerade. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that about vampires, perhaps?
No, it's just a clever title. It's actually about vampire.
Ah.
No, but I played the game on Steam not too long ago to see what the world was like before getting into. It's an old game. I think it was published in the 80s or no, probably early 90s, and just about vampires living in the world. But we typically tend to go to either sci-fi, or maybe hard crime like Call of Cthulhu or something like that. But we haven't done anything in that sense, like a supernatural sense. Cthulhu is a bit, but it's more technically aliens, I guess, if you wanted to argue it. So I wouldn't mind doing kind of a werewolf vampire one. So if anyone out there likes, Vampire the Masquerade, or wants to see something, or even wants to play it, I know we have a few people that are looking to get in on games. The way our style works is we like to limit the size of our games. Right now, how we are, 4 people, 1 GM and 3 players, is probably the max we're ever going to want to do. Because otherwise, I've played games with 8 people along the bottom, and it just fills up. Everyone's trying to talk. You never get your chance to speak. And it gets frustrating. I remember playing a game with someone that was GMing, and there was 8 of us, and we were assaulting a house. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sneak around the back. And the GM's like, okay, wait there. What do you want to do? And by the time I got to go again, the house had been cleared. And I was kind of standing there like, I guess I'll go back to the car now. Unfortunately, there's just not enough time.
That's me behind me.
What was that? What did he say?
That's Chris.
What did he say?
Who, Chris?
Is he talking to us? Is he being mean?
Product placement.
Arizona green tea.
Yes, I
Just in, Mike is a 15-year-old girl. To me,
Nothing wrong with being a 15-year-old girl.
unless you're a 15-year-old boy. What?
No, that's allowed too.
Unless you.
That's allowed too.
Anyway, like to try Vampire the Masquerade, so if anyone out there would like... Oh, that's what I was saying. There are people who do want to get in on games, and if there comes a time where a few of us cannot join, then we will be looking to fill out the spaces. So feel free to send us an email if you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind joining a game, because there might be some chances.
That being said, if you are watching and your name is, I don't know, Jim Carrey, or Sarah Silverman, or, Will Wheaton, sure. If you really want to get in on a game, just let us know, and we'll probably make it happen.
Not Will Wheaton. Maybe Sarah Silverman. I kind of...
Will Wheaton.
I like... No, here's the thing. I like Will Wheaton a lot for tabletop, and when he does the tabletop. But I gotta say, he's a big social justice warrior, and it really he's a white knight. I've seen him in countless situations where it's just exhausting. You know what I mean?
The planet, you bastards.
No, but I mean, for instance, if I had said, I can't remember, but I said something last time that was probably edgy, edgy Harlan. He would be the kind of guy that's like, that's not funny. Why would you say that? That's not even funny. And it's like. Buzzkill. No, but there was that whole Gamersgate thing, which we're gonna stay out of. By the way, we're not. This stream will not talk about Gamersgate in any way. But he picked not a wrong side of it, but he picked a very ignorant kind of view of it. Not the whole situation, but certain aspects of it. He was kind of like he wrote off Total Biscuit because Total Biscuit had an opinion, which was a very valid, well-rounded opinion. Not that I agree with it, but it was a logical, assess the situation, here is where I stand on it. It was very unbiased of him, and Will Wheaton basically wrote him off and said, well, I think someone asked him, would you ever have Total Biscuit back on your tabletop show? And he said, well, I didn't like literally Will Wheaton said, I didn't like the way he took his stance on Gamersgate, so until he changes his mind, I don't think I will. And I thought that was a really ignorant kind of point of view, but...
Yeah. But
anyway.
We're not going to get into that.
No, we're not going to. Well, we're not going to get it on the actual Gamersgate controversy because I think that's a little dead, and we're not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Sure.
But I can say that Will Wheaton, to me, is a little bit of a social justice warrior until he proves otherwise, and he's kind of cool. But I like his tattoo.
On his show.
No, just not while I'm on.
Fair
I'm going
enough.
to tweet him right now.
Fire
Who
with
are
fire.
you talking about, you bro?
Okay, all right. So we're all here. We got Chris back. How are your biceps feeling after lifting all that
Oh my
furniture?
goodness. Woo! I was
Good
planning on
workout.
it tonight. It's not gonna happen. Well,
You're gonna
already.
put a
bike ride?
What's that?
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, nothing. Just too tired. Let's do this. I'm ready to roleplay.
Yes. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yes.
All right.
This is Red One standing by.
Red 1, Fox 2. Okay. So we ended last week with all of the adventurers at the exit of the tunnel, or the connecting part of the Tevinter facilities into where Renner was staying. Grinner let down the portcullis that was blocking Renner and Gil and separating Renner from the party. So now Gil and Renner are together, and they are standing at the threshold. And we're just going to start where we left off last week. You guys are at the threshold. You're staring at Renner and Gil, and I think Renner said something like, "What took you guys so long?"
And I think I said something like, these idiots were taking their goddamn time or something. But I'll change that and say something like, it doesn't matter, we're here now, let's get the fudge out of this fudging place.
And he says, "You're ready to go. Was there anything in there?"
Again,
No.
look.
There's lots in there, but maybe that's for another time. Maybe we should focus on our journey at hand.
Yeah, we just have a shared look of like, there's nothing in there, don't worry about it, let's move on.
So Renner and Gil, they both agree, and you guys go off on your way. So you guys walk through a tunnel, not unlike the first tunnel, but there aren't any grates leading down into dungeons, and eventually you make it through to the other side, and opening a door, you enter into this stone slab vestibule area, and at the front are very big, thick icicles that are dripping water quite quickly, like streaming down. And on the other side, you see that it's daytime.
So time has moved forward.
So you've made it out of the Tevinter research facilities, and you are now facing the entrance or the exit, however you look at it.
So I turn to Renner and I say, what were we doing again? Because I honestly forgot.
All right. So I'm going to get you guys focused on the task at hand again. We are going to Black Sleet Tower. That is a tower that Gil told me about from his resources, dwarven resources, who claim that there is a tower there, and within this tower is a Windstar amulet.
Right, your evil Windstar amulet. I mean, your Windstar amulet.
Well, there doesn't have to be anything evil about it. There's nothing inherently evil about an item, is there?
No, but how you use it.
How do you think I intend to use it?
I don't know. What did you say the Windstar amulet does?
It would allow the user to control the wind to a moderate extent. I doubt I'd be able to control it much without any magical abilities of my own.
Yeah, see, to me that sounds pretty evil. I think that you're just going to want to blow all the kids' kites away.
Well, maybe you should have voiced this concern before you joined this.
I'm going to roll charisma on him. I don't think I've ever rolled it directly on Renner, and I do want to question him because while the amulet has no inherent evil, and he presents no evil, I find it hard to believe that someone would just want an amulet that controls the wind. I'm a cynical guy. What can I say?
Sure.
So, let's roll some shit on him.
So yes, you guys are muted.
Yeah, we definitely want. I don't know. You don't have to be evil to want something that control the wind. I would want one. I'm not evil.
What good would he use it for, though?
What if I'm
He's a
not
collector.
becoming a sailing merchant?
I was gonna say the fastest sailing merchant.
That's true too.
Or the fastest sailing evil ship to pirate things.
Why are you so skeptical of me?
And really, only Grinner shouldn't have an item like this.
Yes. Because clearly with the wind in my sails, I could do things faster. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, so he rubs his hand through his hair, kind of exasperatedly, and he says, "Listen, I'm tired. I haven't done anything to show you that my intentions are nothing but the fact that I have an interest in an item, and I'm a collector. I like to collect things. I would be lying if I said that it was for practical purposes or monetary purposes. I have a fascination with the world. Why can't you understand this?"
I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about you.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, but I'd also appreciate if we could continue moving on. Because Black Sleet Tower, I might have mentioned this earlier, at its base is a place known as Redhold. It is an Avarian encampment, not terribly large from what I understand, but then again, my communication sources may not be the most reliable. So it is my understanding, though, that the Avarians of Redhold, we must go through them before we get into Blackfleet Tower.
Do you think the cannibalistic Avarians that we saw are from there?
I would be very surprised, based on my understanding, but once again, I could be wrong. And you see Gil, he's shaking his head. He says, nah, they were straight barbarians.
Do I know anything about the Redhold or whatever?
Do a cunning check.
I think 11.
11, perfect. So you have heard of it.
Yep.
It is actually a relatively big hold as far as Avarian settlements are concerned. From your understanding, it's actually like pretty solid. It's not just a bunch of tents. It's like an actual hold, like it's stones and stuff. And the Avarians there are very weathered people, very tough, because they're basically in the heart of the Frostbacks. But yeah, they, from what you understand, they are a noble, honor-worshipping people who wouldn't be like the barbarians.
Would they be okay? Are they keen to outsiders or no?
Most Avarians aren't. You know this. You don't know about Redhold. You've never heard anything about whether or not they are. So it's kind of a shot in the dark as to whether or not they'd welcome you. Of ours from other tribes, have actually gone to spend time with the Redhold people from your own hold, I guess, have visited before, and they said nothing but good things.
Okay.
The people there like to fight a lot, but so do your people. So.
That was a dig, but so do your people.
All right. Are there any other questions before we move on? I'm feeling I've got lots of energy right now. We could probably. It does sound fishy.
I think after rescuing you, we deserve a little extra gold.
After imprisoning you.
Hey, he was the one that walked in there.
And he.
I go to Gunnar. I tried to offer you some silver in the.
Shut up. I think we deserve a little bit more gold.
Do a charisma check.
All right.
You're trying to beat a 9 because you raise a good point. You just saved his life, but then again, it is your job.
It's our job to get him to point B, not to go off the beaten path. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. So he says, "You're right. I went off and I should have told the group where I was, and I got myself in this mess. So I'll be paying you each an extra 5 silver pieces per day. What from this point on?"
No, retroactively.
No.
Retroactively from the day you disappeared. Wait, is that the same day?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. That will be what is that now? 25 silver pieces a day? I'll have to go back and look at what he actually said. I should have written it down somewhere. I think I did, but I just.
I did. It was 25 gold pieces a day.
Gold pieces, eh? Oh wow. How loaded do you think this Renner guy is?
Well, you know what? We can just check the live stream, so we'll find out eventually.
I know. Yeah, we'll find out. So 5 silver pieces more than what I said in the previous stream.
We need a bigger fan basis so we can have people know that stuff.
How about this? 5 of the same currency or the same denomination of what you originally offered us. Meaning, if you originally offered us 25 silver pieces, then 5 more. If you originally offered us 25 gold pieces. I feel like this was before we realized how worthwhile gold was.
It wasn't. I am 100% certain on this.
Jason, check it out, man. Go back and watch video number 1. It's going to be at the hour and a bit mark because I know the first half hour the first hour of that game was bust. Or first hour and a half of that game was bust. Okay, so it's probably the 2-hour mark of that game.
So before we move on, actually, I do want to talk about experience.
Oh yeah.
Last week we did not do experience, but you guys do need experience for that first encounter, the second encounter, and probably nothing for exploration or roleplay. Well, roleplaying I'll give you guys 125.
And Harlan gets the extra 150 for the Doug.
Did I?
Yeah, remember you got DM don't overpower us?
Oh, right. You said if someone could figure out an anagram for Doug or something like that.
Oh yeah.
DM don't overpower us.
GM.
That's right.
Yeah. Who came up with that?
That was Harlan.
Okay. All right.
Don't sound so.
I
fine.
thought it was like Jason Randall or something.
No, I'm talented too.
Okay. All right. So 150 for Grinner for coming up with a name for his pet. That seems like a lot.
You said it. You can't backtrack. That would make you dishonest.
All right, 150 for Grinner for. I feel like Drew carried out on whose line is it?
Where the points don't matter.
And then 125 for role playing. First encounter. What do you guys say? That was normal, difficult, or hard?
That was the one with the spiders, right?
Skeletons.
Sorry, routine, easy, average, or hard? The spiders and the skeleton.
Yeah, I would say that was probably like a medium.
That's easy.
Easy?
No one really expended too much stuff, and
No one lost any hit points, really.
I think you lost a few.
I did lose a few, and I actually was pretty much...
weren't both of you near death?
That's true. I was actually almost near death.
I thought, remember, because both of you had to heal though when I went on.
That's true.
I think we healed for the.
So let's make it routine.
Routine?
No. Routine's the lowest one.
Lower than easy.
Oh,
Average.
Average.
And then Doug.
It was emotionally draining because we loved him before.
but if you look at it, again, Grinner took out quite a few hit points with arrows, but then walked away, and then Penn pretty much handled it on his own.
Well, in all fairness, I left one round before he killed it.
No, that's what I said. Took it down quite a bit with some arrows.
I will give you guys 100 experience for Doug, not because you guys struggled with it, but because of the emotional turmoil.
Thank you. Emotional damage.
Yeah.
I was the one that loved Doug, okay? It was hard for me.
You're not allowed to cry.
Be strong.
All
What about my
right, so
awesome dodging of the beast in the basement?
Oh yeah, that's included in the 150 that you got for Doug.
His brave running away.
Cool.
Brave.
Brave Sagrinna.
Hey, I got the bow, so it worked.
You got the bow. There you go. That's your other big reward. Okay, so 125, 200, and 100. That's 425 for each of you. Harlan, you get an extra 150 for coming up with the Doug.
Cool.
acronym.
So 425 plus 150.
3,420.
At 575.
That isn't everybody. I want to give 200 experience to Jason Randall again for following along and giving his input last time.
What?
By the looks of it, it looks like David McDowell is also going to be getting some experience.
What?
And I'm going to give 200 experience to Alex as well.
He's not watching this time, but you can give it to him. I'll take it.
I'll give it to Alex. Opinion 1000.
There you go.
He really worked hard to help you guys out.
Yeah, he was tweeting like a mofo.
You try to shoot
I'll
him in the
tweet them
eyeball.
each. They each get 200, you said?
Yeah, 200.
All right.
And there was someone else who messaged us on the YouTube, I believe.
On the YouTube. You sound like my dad.
The YouTube.
He messaged us on the YouTube.
Max Autograph. Who is that?
Oh no, that's my friend. She's
That's your
not.
friend?
She doesn't care.
Okay. Talamian.
Yep. That is also David McDowell.
That's
Dave McDowell. Yeah.
David McDowell. Okay.
He
Gotcha.
just tweeted and said, "Woot!"
Woot.
So I'm going to tweet him back and say 200 XP.
Okay, so David McDowell then also
shit.
gets 200 experience for last week. And yeah, we'll start again this week.
And actually, I was going to say we can give Dave an extra little bit because it was him that gave me the feed on what an abyss was.
That's right. We did the definition.
My definition.
Right. Perfect. Yes, okay, so
Back to
that's...
gaming.
Hold on, quick question. What
Yes.
are we at? Were we at 2995 XP?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because I had a lot of numbers written down. I assumed it was the highest one, but I might have just made up my own number.
So essentially, Chris and I are at 3,420, and
I'm
Harlan's
at 3570.
570.
3570. I gotta write that bigger. XP. 570. Okay.
kind of what we need for next level.
For
Next level?
is 4499
I'm going to write that in the corner.
to get to level 3.
4499.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll.
All right, so after just a quick snack, you guys continue on into the Frostbacks again, and you see the sun is shining brightly. It's a beautiful sunny day. You even hear some birds chirping every now and then. You find yourselves in a heavily forested area over the first few hours that you're traveling away from the facilities. And you guys eventually reach an opening into a beautiful fjord. And if you don't know what a fjord is...
Pining for the fjords.
Pining in the fjords. Got a picture up for you guys. A fjord is... You know what a fjord is?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what glass is?
A glass?
Just
You mean
glass
like...
in general.
Oh, what's glass again? What is glass? Is it the one you can see through or not?
Okay, so here you go.
A fjord is a long, narrow, deep inlet of the sea between high cliffs.
Yes, exactly. So a quick look at that for you guys. Kind of what you're looking at is this. Picture more snow.
Ooh, black. Ah, there we go.
Is that it? No.
Yes.
You can see that now?
I'm pining for them.
Yes, if you're pining for the fjords, you get 0 experience, but if
Ah.
you're not, then you don't get any either. So yes, this is what you come down to, and eventually you make your way down to the water, and it is frozen over. And on the other side, you can see what looks to be a wooden post, but you can't make out what it is exactly.
Like on the other side of the cannot reach distance?
You cannot reach it. The only way to get across, you could get across the ice, or you could continue the way you're going and try to find a way around it.
Can I not use my eagle eyes?
You can use them, but do you just want to get a closer look at it?
Well, when I squint, I can see better. I'm like George Costanza. Let me just squint and get a +2. Aren't elf eyes better?
Well, what are you looking for?
The sign. I want to read what's on the sign.
It's a wooden post. You don't know if there's anything written on it.
Well, if there's a wooden post with nothing written on it, it's a pretty damn useless.
You can do a perception check to see
Okay,
if there's
I'll
something
do that.
special about it.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 29.
Okay.
Oh, 11.
So you can see from this distance, just barely. Well, yeah, you can see it. There's a flag. It looks like a flag is drifting in the very little wind that there is.
Fair enough.
Hard to see from your angle, but every now and then you get a glimpse of it, and it's attached to the post.
What color is it?
It's red.
Oh shit!
The boundaries or something.
Red flag. Whoa, red flag, guys. I don't think we should keep going. It would Penth recognize it as any sort of Avarian symbol or anything?
Good question. Penth, you can do a cunning check.
I ask him, Penth, do you recognize said flag?
Hey, there you go. 25. Or 15, sorry.
15, okay. So you do definitely recognize that this is something that the Avars use, especially for their hunters, especially in the wintertime, to show. It's like it leads a path back to an encampment or a settlement or something. In the wintertime, it's great because the hunters find these posts and then they can follow them back to where they're from.
Cool. Sort of like an Inukshuk.
Like in a Inukshuk, yeah. Or if you've played Skyrim and you're walking through Windhelm, that area,
Oh, yeah.
you run into all of these little stone croppings with flags on them.
All right.
So,
What is it, Penth?
It's just it's markers to let us know how to get back to, I imagine, the Red Keep.
Red Hold.
Hold, sorry.
So we should march off towards it.
I agree.
Now
You don't
it
need
is,
to follow the map at this point.
it is across the water,
Must be
which is frozen over. Yes, but you did see those icicles at the exit of.
Melting.
Let's risk it. I feel like an adventurer today.
As opposed to regularly. All right, I'm okay with that. Put it this way, if that's where we got to go, why not go there?
Yep, let's try it. But I suggest that we spread out our weight so we're not all standing close together. And we give all our baggage to Gil.
Okay, perfect. So, everybody roll. There were 3d6.
Oh, I love it when you say that. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ugh, I'm rolling bad today.
I drown.
Oh, I liked him-ish.
All right. So what did everybody get?
I got 13, depending on if we add anything.
Roll add perception. So I guess it would be cunning. Or
What?
perception. No,
Perception.
perception is something different. Yeah. Add that.
15.
Perception.
Okay. 15 and
And I've got 9.
9. Okay. Right, and then Mike got
I got 6.
6.
I'm like, guys? What's going on, guys?
So you start making your way across the
I
ice.
put him on my back.
It's too late for that. Eventually, you get about halfway across. Grinner, you start to hear some cracks from beneath you. Not loud.
Okay, I put him on my back now.
No.
Explain that the lightest person is...
You
'Cause
go to tell him that you're going to put him on his back. And Imogen, you're walking along, and you see one spot of the ice looks like it's like there's bubbles underneath it. You can see the bubbles. And you're kind of mesmerized by the bubbles when you actually slip through. The ice cracks beneath you, and you fall into the frigid waters.
Uh-oh.
Excellent.
All right, so what do you guys do?
I get down on my tummy and slide over to him.
Nice.
All right. And what are you doing right now, Imogen?
I would be trying to tread water or climb up on the ice, whichever I'm allowed to do.
Tuck your knees in. Tuck your knees in.
Okay. So treading water, do a swim check.
Sorry. Athletics or strength?
What's that?
Is it athletics or strength or?
It is strength. Swimming. Oh wait, no. Swimming is Constitution, I think.
Constitution.
Yes.
Well, that would well, I'm guessing my winter garb will help here.
No. This is one of those situations where your winter garb would actually be a hindrance.
Why did you mention it, you fool?
It's wool. It's heavy.
It's wool, which means it keeps you warm still.
But the good thing about wool is it actually clings to the ice.
Yes.
It helps a lot with wool gloves. Actually help you climb out of ice.
Oh yeah.
So not only do you stay warm while it's wet.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I forgot about that. That is the thing about wool. If it was
So
cotton.
I would say that it is going to help in this case.
Yes, it will, but not necessarily with your swimming.
Gotcha. All right.
Because it is still going to soak up the water.
Yeah.
So your head starts to go under as you're grasping at the ice.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. No, I did not get a 10 because I don't get to add the winter garb. So I got a 7.
You got a 7. Okay. Yeah. So you're grasping at it. It looks like you'll be going under soon if you don't get help. So Grinner has jumped onto his stomach. He slid over to you.
And I had one hand on my rope, and I just unfurl it towards the hole.
Okay. So you let the rope out.
One hand on your what?
On my penis.
Excellent, because that's what I'm grasping.
Well, I told you to bring the fucking rope, and that's what I did. I bring the fucking rope.
Okay. So Grinner is throwing you a rope. You're going to get a +2 to get out this time, Imogen.
And I'm obviously staying far enough away from the hole so it doesn't,
So it doesn't, crack more. You do see, even where you are, the ice is thinning. This spot must get more light than usual. I don't know how ice works, but it's thinner. So Imogen, you can do either a perception check to get the rope or a dexterity. You either see it or you just randomly grab it.
I'm going to randomly grab it.
Okay.
It doesn't make a difference. I'm +0 on either one. So I got 8.
8. Okay. So you're thrashing around and you can't get a grasp on the rope. You're starting to panic now, and it's not helping.
I say, God damn it. I tie the other end of the rope around my waist.
Okay.
And I go in for him, and I say, Pent, pull us out!
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you jump in, Grinner, and as soon as you jump in, you feel the shock of the cold water, the near freezing water hit you. And then all of a sudden, you feel warm.
I
Totally
peed
warm.
myself again.
And you grab onto Imogen and Pent.
Need the water.
Pent, you grab onto the rope, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I imagine so. Although he did just tell me to shut up, so yeah, I'll do it.
Imogen's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grab onto the rope, and
You're a bastard.
Renner grabs on behind you, and you both pull and do a strength check,
Oh, we got this.
and you get a +2 from Renner.
13.
All right. The +2 from Renner.
And this is like horizontal climbing, right?
What's that?
I have a climbing bonus. It's like horizontal climbing.
No. This is money.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
13.
You do manage to pull them out. They wriggle onto. And,
I quickly try to make a fire, and I take my. I tell them to take off their winter garbs.
And
I'm gonna obviously get off the ice.
And I look at Imogen, and I grab him, and I go, I wish I knew how to quit you.
And what does Imogen? How does Imogen respond?
I assume he would react how the other guy reacted in Brokeback Mountain and kiss me.
Well, I was just going to give him a big hug, but yes.
That works too.
Thank you, Grinner, for coming through and saving me.
So you hear the ice cracking beneath you as you stand there hugging each other.
All right. So I run to the shore and I start making a fire and I yell at them, "Take your clothes off."
I wish I knew how to quit you.
All right. So you get to the shoreline. You get to the shoreline and you tell them.
Yeah, I'm already stripping. I'm like, God damn, fucking motherfucker.
You're not cold, Grinner. You are not cold at all.
I'm not cold?
You're not. As soon as you jumped into the water, you felt the cold and then it disappeared.
Maybe your bow is special.
Am I even wet?
You're wet, yeah, definitely. But your body does not feel cold at all.
Cool. Well, then I'd help him get the fire ready.
Okay. So Imogen, you still do feel cold.
Am I surprised that Grinner's not shivering or anything?
Do a perception check. You might not even.
That's kind of meta. I'd be probably focusing on the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, do I get the fire going? It's good.
Yes, you do manage to get the fire going. It's no problem. There are lots of trees around and dry branches, so you get it set up quickly. And right now it's late afternoon-ish. You probably have a couple of hours of daylight before it might be a good idea to rest for the night.
Well, I will strip down as quickly as I can, and as soon as I'm relatively dry, I'll get my leather armor from Gil and put that on.
Okay. So Renner comes over to you and says, Imogen, are you all right? You look like you were panicking there for a bit. I was panicking.
I don't know how to swim.
I guess they never would have taught you in the tower, eh?
Nor in the forest.
No. All right. Well, I'm glad you made it out. It would be a shame to lose one of us.
I'm gonna.
Off.
I would see Grinner at this point not changing and not shivering, and so I would do a perception check now.
Okay. Well, no. If you
I'd be changing anyway if I was wet.
Do a perception check to see if you do notice.
Yeah. Okay. So I did 12, 16, 18.
Okay. So you do notice that Grinner is not shivering at all. He looks like he's fine.
No. Okay. Would I understand? Would I think anything? Would I be like, have I seen anything like this before?
You tell me.
Well, if I fell into the ice, would I shiver and freeze?
You would definitely. Well, you would probably feel cold. Yeah, for sure. That's from your experience. Yes. If you fell into the water, you would definitely be cold, and you'd probably catch hypothermia. And
I asked Grinner, how come you were not affected by the icy waters? Most men. Imogen was lucky to survive, and yet you look like as if you haven't been even touched by the water.
I am. I'm freezing. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't believe you. You don't shiver. Your lips aren't.
Excuse me? You don't believe me because I don't shiver?
Yes. I know what it looks like to be frozen, and you do not look frozen.
I ignore him and walk away.
All right. And Renner goes over to you, Penth, and he says, "It doesn't matter. Just leave it."
You know something I don't know.
What do you mean?
Why would I leave it?
He's not shivering. He's not cold, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's got superhuman abilities. It's not my place to ask. I hired him to get me to Redhold. We're getting to Redhold. We're almost there. I need for us all to work together.
All right.
Good. And you see relief wash over his face.
Can I actually do is it something I would notice as well, or am I too busy getting warm?
What do you think in this situation? You're getting warm. You're
Or do I like notice that exchange or anything?
You'd probably notice the exchange. It happened right around the fire. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's not like he took him behind
I
a
will just take
curtain.
note of that.
Okay, so Gil sets down his pack, and he pulls out some food, and he starts cooking it over the fire.
And I look around and I kind of say, is this the best place to be doing that?
What, cooking food?
Well, how exposed are we? Are we not just sitting on the edge of a frozen lake next to an Avarian Hunt's place?
Oh, I feel like we've still got a ways to go before we get to the Red Hold. I mean,
Can we not find a better place to put the fire?
the fire's already here. We got Imogen here who's freezing.
All right, well, I'm going to go scout up ahead. And
All
once
right.
I'm relatively dry, I'm going to go take my bow and I'm going to go slink off to check the area.
He says, "Good idea. You want some meat?"
No, I'm fine.
All right. Okay, so the campfire is quiet, and you guys sit around. It's the tenseness of the party. It shows kind of in Renner. Gil is always quiet. He's smoking his pipe again, eating some meat. And so Grinner, you go off ahead.
Coolio. And I'm going to roll Perception.
Okay.
Ooh. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
I want to leave it.
So you go down the road that is still covered in snow, albeit wet snow because it's melted a lot this day. And as you're going along, you're traveling along the side of the mountain that is curving. On the left is the water of the fjord, and then on the other side is a mountain.
I wouldn't leave too far. Just FYI. I wouldn't go too
maybe
far.
5 minutes down the road, you
Yep.
you reach a point that there's big rocks that have fallen from what looks to be a rock slide.
Am I by myself now?
You're by yourself at the moment.
And they can't see me?
No.
Okay, I want to check my body for anything irregular, talismans that might be in my pockets, anything that would not be owned by me originally.
I don't remember that lump there.
Oh no, my testicle.
So your body is actually starting to feel a little bit cooler now. You didn't change your clothes, did you?
No, probably not.
No. So you are starting to feel cooler for sure, as if your body temperature is starting to go down.
Mm.
But you don't notice any strange talismans on your body as you're looking around.
Nothing, and nothing in my boots. Nothing.
No.
Okay. All right. I would continue doing whatever you were saying.
Well, behind the group of rocks, the rock slide, you see a hole high up, maybe about 30 feet up the side of the mountain. There is what looks to be a cave that has been slightly covered up with rocks and snow.
Well, does it look like a man-made cave?
Nope, not at all. It's jagged. It might not even be a cave. It might just be a part of the rock that kind of juts out.
Well, part of me says there's no logic for me to check it. Part of me says, then why is it being described to me? I probably wouldn't bother checking it. It would serve me no purpose, I guess. I mean,
Well, it looks like it might be if it is a cave, it looks like it might be a better spot to put a fire if you were to...
okay. Then yes, I would check it out.
Okay. So you make your way up the rocks and you look inside, and it's definitely bigger than just a cutout jut in the wall of the mountain. What?
Apparently he's got a butt plug of eternal health that keeps you warm and cozy.
Who does?
You do. Grinner. That's why you couldn't find it. You looked everywhere but your butthole.
Oh.
Did you check your butthole?
I checked everywhere, and my butthole's the first place I check, so that's not true. Who said that, though?
That was Dave.
Keeps you warm from the inside out.
Dave on Twitter?
No, he actually texted me.
Oh, okay. Oh, Dave's your friend?
Yeah,
Dave McDowell?
Dave McDowell.
So we don't have a viewer. Damn it. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Dave. Oh, that's right. We said hi to Dave last time. Hi, Dave.
All right, so yes, it does look like a cave. You could do another perception check here to see if there's anything inside, or you could just say, hey, it's a cave. Whatever.
No, I might as well make sure I don't die. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I might die anyway.
So the wind is starting to pick up, and it's howling in your ears, and you can't tell if there's anything inside.
I probably wouldn't bother going ahead then.
Do get a faint whiff of something that sounds like it smells like rotting flesh, maybe just very, very faintly. It could be a rat. It could be something bigger. You don't know.
It's probably something bigger. But actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll check it out anyway.
You're gonna try to get in?
I will check it out. I want to peek up.
So now, in order to get in, you would have to take away some of the rocks. You could slip in, like try to slide in and shimmy your way in, but you might get stuck.
Oh.
You don't know what's on the other side.
All right.
Because it is covered by rocks mostly, right?
Then I won't bother.
Okay. So do you continue going on ahead, or do you go back to the fire?
I want to scout to know where we are in relation to the fjords, and I want to see which direction we're heading, and I want to just make sure it's generally safe, that we're not going to be like ambushed. So maybe just another look around from there, and then I'd head back.
Okay. All right. One more perception check.
Una more pressio. And it's a terrible one, so I probably see nothing. It'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, making your way back down from the cave, you don't see anything that would give you indication. You do see some clouds on the horizon, far off into the distance. But other than
Storm
that,
clouds?
it's hard to tell at this point where they are. They're the only clouds really in the sky, though, with such a beautiful day.
So true, so true. Such a beautiful day.
So, anyways, back at the fire, Renner is awkwardly trying to start up conversation, and he says to Imogen, "So, after this trip, if all goes well, you're going to have much more money than you've ever had in your life."
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh no, it's not. Of course, it's my pleasure, but I'm just wondering, what do you plan on doing with your money? If you don't mind me asking.
Where to start, sir? Mostly, I think I'll have to just use it to keep traveling and stay on the road and keep hitting.
Yeah. Well, you say you came from a band of traveling Dalish elves, right?
Absolutely,
What are you saying?
sir. Yes, sir. When I was taken to the circle.
Mm. So do you have any intention of bringing the money back to them and giving it to them, or do you want to do something with it yourself?
I don't even know at this point, sir, because I don't know if I go back to them if I'm bringing danger their way, and I do not want to do that, sir.
Imogen, why don't you come and stay with my people? We'll protect you.
Are you sure I'm not too squishy?
That's why you need a protection. Of course, it'll cost you a few silver pennies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't know if I can do that because, again, I'm being chased by and hunted, and I don't think I wish that upon your people either. I appreciate the offer, but I will probably have to stay on the road.
So Renner turns to you, Penth, and he says, well, it's all out in the open now that Imogen is what he is, but your people, Penth, you don't think that they would have any problems with that, eh?
Imogen was able to hide it from me for so long. I don't see why he would have to be so open among my people. I think he's a good person all the same.
So you're suggesting that he would come back with you to the hold and train with you?
I imagine he could learn a great deal. I don't know if he'd be allowed to train in our ways, but no matter what, it would make him stronger.
What about the fact that he's an elf? Do your Avarian people care about such things?
We look fondly upon the elves. We think that they are young and naive, but they are of nature, and for that we respect them.
I see. Have you ever had elves attend, try to train where you are?
When I was a child, I had seen an elf come and visit us, but he did not stay, and he was not allowed to train.
I see.
But I would vouch for Imogen. I think that he would be allowed with my blessing.
And do a perception check.
11.
All right. So you see some movement out of the corner of your eye, and Gil, you turn and you see Gil, and he's coughed slightly and he's shaking his head somewhat. But as you turn, you also see Grinner coming back to the fire.
Was the movement where Grinner was coming back, or from somewhere else?
No, the movement, it was Gil. It was Gil shaking his head.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, but then you also see Grinner making his way back to the fire.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
Renner says, "What's the word, Grinner?"
Seems pretty clear around here. There is an alcove up the road a little bit that might be a better place to hide the fire, or have the fire. But I climbed up a little bit and couldn't get a good look inside. It smelled a bit like rotting flesh of some sort, so it might not be the safest place to move in right now.
Well, you couldn't go straight in.
I'm sorry?
You said it was. Did you say if it was covered in rocks or?
Yeah, I described what I saw.
Oh, okay. He says, "Well, it might be that whatever was living in there might have died." If it was
Possible,
covered in
but I
rocks.
didn't want to awaken a bear and come running back here leading it to us, so...
No, probably wise.
So and then I sit by the fire to warm up, since I'm now visibly shaking, and then I just give a look to Pent like, dick.
And Gil is looking around. He says, "Well, it is starting to get dark now. I would say that these parts are probably teeming with red lions. It may be a better idea to take the greater shelter, if you ask me."
I'm not against it. I think we should check it out first, though.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, again, use natural lore, just to see if it seems like the type of place that a red lion would hang out, like a lion's den.
Oh, okay.
7, 8, so 11.
Okay. So you go up to where it is?
No, just by his description.
By his description, I mean, it could be. It could also just be a cave. It could be a cave that the hunters use.
But I described it, like, really accurately.
And he did say it's metal, which would be also another key, right?
And I
'Cause-
described the smell really accurately as well.
I'm going to say that the only way that you can truly know
Is
whether or
to-
not it's...
All right, let me take you back, Imogen. And I tell the others that we'll be right back.
All right.
Why are you guys going? Just to see.
Just to see if it's a better place to stay.
Okay.
Okay. So just the two of them? You don't want to go with them, Pen?
Well, I think it's kind of silly that Imogen would go by himself, or with Grinner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we gonna do? Why don't we? Is it on our way anyways? We have to move from the spot anyway, so we might as well go with them. And if it's not good, we move on.
Well, we'd be leaving the fire unattended.
Well, the fire's pretty much done then, mate.
Well, then let's just move on.
I agree.
Right.
Well, there's no need to camp. I'm well rested.
Yeah, and Renner and Gil, they both don't disagree. They
Yeah.
both agree. Okay, so you guys move up to the cave, and once again, it is covered in snow-covered rocks, and you will have to take away some of the rocks to get in, but you guys can all smell that scent inside.
Well, I'd say let's just keep moving. Like,
It
Do we
is
need to
getting
stop for that?
pretty dark. You are on a tentative path, but it might not be a path for much longer. You get the impression that both Renner and Gil would rather camp for the night after seeing what they've seen.
didn't Renner like start this whole thing being like, "Oh, I'm rejuvenated. Let's go."
Well, of course. But you've been traveling for hours already.
Have we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hours go by fast.
In the gaming world,
I'm just
tabletop
kidding.
world, they do.
Okay, fair enough. All right, then let him check his lore or
Check my lore.
Nature lore, perception, anything like that, to see if there are any hints of what.
check your lore before you wreck your lore.
Are you gonna do nature lore, Mike?
Yeah. So 13.
13. Okay. So, based on what you know about nature, the red lions do live in dens, like bears. In fact, sometimes red lions will even go into a bear's cave and kill the bear that's in it, and eat the bear, and then take it over as its home. Red lions are vicious, vicious animals. But in terms of knowing whether or not it's a red lion or a bear cave or just a nothing cave, you can't. It's not like they stick up a sign that says red lion.
Oh.
Are they are red lions nocturnal or?
Red lions are not only nocturnal. Are they nocturnal? That is a good question.
Either way, I would check around for footprints in the snow. I mean, if put it this way, if it's an active cave, there would be some sign that it's climbing in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would say to everybody, and I'd say, everybody, check your feet. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay. Looking around, you don't find any prints, but on a
But we do
rock-
find the artist formerly known as.
I was just going to say that.
Purple Rain.
Are you pulling it up right now?
No.
Okay, so you do find a patch of fur that has been rubbed up against a rock, and you peel it off, and it looks like it is likely red lion fur.
All right. Well, I say very quietly to everyone, this might be an active den. I say we move on and try to find a better place. As I pick up the red lion fur and hand it to Imogen, say, "Here, use this for your potions."
Now the skin, the fur is quite old. Otherwise,
Oh, well then I stop and say, "It's old, so maybe it's not. This tells me nothing." Fuck it. I light an arrow and fire it into the cave.
are you using one of your special arrows?
No, God, no.
All right. So you fire it in. You get a glimpse of the inside of the cave. It's round. You see something lying on the ground, but the arrow hits the ground and goes out before you have a chance really to take a look.
Do we hear a primal lion?
No, you don't hear anything like that. No.
I turn to Imogen. What do you think?
Imogen? In my opinion, if it was a red lion and it was in there, he would have known about us already. He would have smelt us. And whether we contact him now or later, he's going to hunt us down, so we might as well get it out of the way. Yeah, he'd already have our scent, so if he wants to attack us, he will. Now, if he's out and he's coming back in, that's another issue. But it seems like it's been stoned up for some time. I imagine that it's a dead lion in there.
And Imogen, what do you think?
I feel like I agree that we would be attacked by now already if the lion was there, and I feel like if we're inside and we put the fire near the entrance, we will have an easier defense against the lion.
And we can remove the rocks, so it's just enough space that we can get in, which will help with the defense.
All right, then I agree. Let's go in.
Okay. So you guys clear a few rocks so that only you guys can fit in, and one by one you pile into the cave. Gil passes you his big pack before he steps in himself. And when you get inside, who goes in first?
I'll go on first. Oh,
Or-
Grinner wants to.
Doesn't matter.
Brenner? Okay. So, Penth, you going first. You just casually going in? Do you want to describe how you're going in?
Well, I imagine casual as it can be, I would light a torch and go torch first, pulling myself in, so it's just enough space for me to slide my body through, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be pulling my body in, and if I smell, obviously I'd smell the carcass or whatever's in there, and just be aware of that. And,
So stepping inside, you would actually, as soon as you get the torch lit, you do see that once again it's not a very big cave, and there is something lying on the ground, and it looks like a lion. You get closer, and it looks like it's been dead for quite some time, maybe a few months, and it's just it really doesn't smell that bad. In terms of, yeah, rotting corpses go, the winter has made it.
as far as rotting corpses go, this one's pretty good. All right, so I would grab the body, and how much room is there? Like, do I need to get the carcass out for there to be enough room for us to get in?
No. You can leave it in there if you want.
I think
Get
it's
it
best.
out. Yeah, we can
I
burn
think
it
it's
if
best to burn it because again, if we leave it out,
it could attract.
that will bring other animals.
Well, fire might also bring things.
Or we could take
No,
it
that'll keep them
and
away.
put a rock in it and drop it down the hole in the ice.
Why would you think fire would keep people away?
Is it? Oh yeah, is it?
No, the fire will keep the other animals away.
Oh yeah, but it might draw all the Avarian huntsmen to us.
Again, they might not be.
And isn't that where we want to go anyway?
Yeah, but isn't there the risk that we could bring more cannibal people? I would say we just move it and dump it in the frozen lake.
Okay.
Well,
Dump
I
it
mean,
in-
nothing. It's not going to smell from frozen lake, and it's not going to draw anyone with the fire. To me,
Okay,
that's
so I take it upon myself to grab some of the rocks, and I don't know, make a cut in the carcass, put it in there, and go back to the hole and throw it in.
I'm just saying we're going to need a fire anyway, and we're going to need to shelter the fire.
Well, yeah, we'll
Because
still
we
need
can't
that.
stay in a cave in the middle of winter without a
Yeah,
fire.
but no, I know, but lighting a corpse on fire versus lighting like wood on fire would. Here's my concern: if any, like, we've seen dead things come back to life. If this dead thing is in any way, even if it's burnt bones, we've seen bones come back to life. That, and if we're lighting a stinky corpse, I would assume we'd have to light it outside, in which case it would draw things in. I think we can light things on the cusp of the cave, but kind of block the light with rocks.
What would my instincts tell me? I'm gonna do a cunning check, Justin, to see if I think it's gonna attract anything burning. Because I mean, I must be used to cooking meat outside, and we just cooked meat outside, and nothing happened. So by that argument, it should be fine.
Because no one came up to our fire before, that means that no one will come to our fire now?
Yeah. Right? Because if they were attracted to the smell before, they would have come before, right?
If they were in the area.
If they're in the area. But I mean, how long would it take for the body to cook off the smell?
But that's what I'm saying is I think the
Which is going to be faster, Justin?
Which is going to be faster? Definitely lighting a fire with it.
All right, let's just do that.
It will take more time to fill it with rocks.
All right. I fundamentally disagree, but I would probably be, at this point, overpowered, so.
Okay, so
I
as
think
you go
fill the
to...
rocks up and shelter the fire and then cut it up into little pieces and cook it slowly. We're good.
Okay, now, as you go to cut up or not cut it up, to start a fire with the red lion, you do see that its fur is still pretty well intact.
All right.
Yeah, like it's definitely sunken in a bit. It's lost some mass. But
How did it die?
what do you think? It's quite
Starvation.
sticky.
Starvation from the winter. Starvation from the winter. Or it was cave collapsed in and he got stuck in there.
Can we do a check on it or something?
Yep. You can do a natural lore check.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I turn to Imogen and say, hey, maybe you know how this thing died.
Yeah, so I got 13.
Okay, so just by looking at it, you can tell it is quite skinny. It's when it died, it had probably lost a lot of mass. Doesn't look like there's any injuries on it. There is a small patch of fur that is missing from its right side, but you guess that the main source of this cat's death was starvation.
Might it be a good opportunity for us to bring an offering to the Avarian people when we arrive to give them this gift of the pelt? Because I know that they're worth a lot of money, and my people were, would appreciate a gift like that.
Absolutely.
So I suggest we
Skin it.
Skin it. So I start skinning it.
Okay. So it takes you a while. And are you guys starting a fire while he's doing that? Like, it's probably going to take him a full hour and a half or two to skin it.
I'm gonna go outside and probably scout, get someplace safe, and watch. I don't feel comfortable here now.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So you go out on your own.
Most at home right now.
And we're like, you just want to scout. It's getting quite dark now. The sun has all but vanished from the sky.
Mm-hmm. Do I still feel cold?
You feel warm enough. You've definitely dried up a bit, but you could probably use some time beside a fire to dry up completely.
Sorry, what I mean is, like, do I still feel like that warmth that was around me when I was in the water? Does it feel like the cold doesn't bother me, or?
No, the cold is bothering you a little bit.
Okay.
Especially with your crinkling, semi-frozen clothes.
I didn't warm them with fire when I went back before we left.
The fire was pretty much dead when you got back.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, then I don't know. I would go outside and sit in my crinkly clothes and watch.
Sitting at the front of the cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
To the side of it. I wouldn't try to be in the passageway, just to the side a little bit.
Okay. So as you're sitting there, you do see an eagle fly overhead.
Beautiful. I
Beautiful,
shoot
flying
it.
into the sunset. You actually shoot at it?
Well, do we have... No, I guess we have provisions. I let it live.
Okay.
I don't waste an arrow.
Not one of my super poison tips.
Okay. So Renner and Gil start a fire while Nth is skinning the cat, and eventually you get it completely skinned, and you got a seriously good-looking pelt.
Nice. It'll need to be tanned, but I'll have to wait till we have more. Actually, wouldn't tan a pelt like that, would you? You tan it for the leather, not for the pelt.
No, you just dry it. Imogen will be continuing to read that book.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to pick up history, or not looking for anything, just trying to actually just enjoy and, again, look at what life was like there at the time and that sort of thing.
I would also ask questions from Imogen when things quieted down. I guess after I'd done that with the lion, I would go over to him and be like, how does it work?
Well, generally when I wake up in the morning, it's ready to go.
I say, you can do some amazing things. I've seen you, I don't know how, but you've made our enemies explode, and you've killed them with spears that don't exist.
The healing.
The healing, too.
It's the magic. It's a part of everything we do. It's a part of us. It's all around us. It's part of you. Although you may not be able to consciously tap into it, it is a part of you. I just happen to have the ability to, as you have your strengths, and you are good with a sword, I have the ability to reach in and tap into that source. And that is my strength.
And is the source evil?
Is a sword inherently evil, or is it the person who wields it?
I kind of just nod and I walk away, grab some of those warm stones by the fire and put them next to where I'm going to sleep and kind of make a place for me.
Okay. And Gil speaks up for the first time in a long time, and he says to Imogen, "How long have you known you had these powers?"
This is Gil that's asking?
This is Gil, yeah.
Okay. So I say, from a very young age, sir, I was taken from my family and brought to the tower. It wasn't myself that discovered it. It
Yeah,
was some of the Circle Magi that were looking for people who had the ability. They happened to discover me and rip me away from my home.
how did they discover you?
That I don't know, sir.
You
They
were too
have
young
the
at the
ability
time.
to see it within me.
Ah, I see. Yeah, they'll do that. And Renner pipes in and says, "Well, I don't know about you guys, but it's been quite a long night. It's gotten dark. A few hours have passed. I'm gonna go to sleep." So Renner says goodnight, and he crawls into a corner and goes to sleep.
Before I go to sleep, I suggest that we take shifts again. I say I will. I'm going to sleep now, but wake me up in 4 hours, and I will take a watch.
And Gil nods. He says, "I'm feeling sleepy myself. How about you, Imogen? You going to bed soon?"
Yes, sir. I'm just waiting for Grinner to return so that I know that he's safe.
You see, he chuckles at that, and he says, "I'm sure he's fine, mate." And yeah, then he packs his pipe and starts to smoke it some more. So you guys are waiting around the campfire for a little bit, and we'll go into your book a bit, Imogen. Um, so you're reading along, and you read about this man who wrote the journal in Tevinter many years ago, hundreds of years ago, in the Second Age, I believe it was, the Tower Age. And you're reading about how he was recruited for by the Tevinter to fight the Blight. I think it was the second Blight. And he was of a very low family. He didn't get much rank, so he got pretty much the worst post that you could get at the time. Um, and eventually, and he wasn't really respected there. And so you keep on reading, and you learn that he was posted to the research facility, which is very isolated. It's not even in a city. It's not in a town. You don't get much camaraderie with your other fellow guards. It's pretty isolated. And so you're reading up on his experiences there, how he found the little hole in the wall where he hid his money. You read that he was saving up his money to open up his own bakery, of all things. He loved to cook and to bake, but he never got to exercise that passion because he was stuck in the prisons. And you read about the first time that they brought prisoners was his first time encountering the Blight. And he remembers 5 experiments coming in, three Genlocks and 2 Herlocks, and the way that the technicians or the lab coats would come in and experiment with the Herlocks and dose them and put them under. And different things that they were trying on them. And he didn't really know, but he knew at one point that they were experimenting with their blood and was taking their blood away, which he didn't really know much about, but he'd heard that their blood had magical, poisonous features, I guess. And they were also experimenting with human blood on them and that sort of thing. That's his understanding. He did have a friend, kind of, who was a lab tech who did tell him a bit about this stuff. And you get about that far when you start to feel really tired, and it's hard to keep your eyes open.
Okay, so at that point I put the book down, put it in my backpack, stand up and stretch and take a look outside of the cave and see if I can see Grinner anywhere.
Are you there, Grinner?
Yeah, I'm just sitting on the other side of the cave door, listening to their conversations. And I give him a nod as I see him.
So if I can get there, I'll go up and sit beside him.
Okay.
I put my arm around him. I say, come here, kid.
I just want to thank you very much, sir, for always looking out for me.
Imogen, I look out for you because where I come from, I grew up on a farm, and one summer day, there was a house just on the horizon that caught fire. I ran to see what was happening, and the only survivor was a young boy, about a little younger than you. His parents were murdered, and then the house was set on fire. I managed to save him. I think he's still alive. I dropped him off at his uncle's house in Denerim to my regret. His uncle was not a passionate man, but he was his family, and he did not belong with me as much as he wanted to stay with me. You remind me a lot of him, and you're a good kid. But I want you to know that you can trust me with things. Should you need to tell me about anything that's going on with you, including when I ask you to your face whether you are a mage or not, I'm here to help. We are now a party. We need to work together, even if Penth would have it otherwise.
I agree 100%, sir. That's why I want to know why you were hiding something from us now.
And I look around, and I speak very quietly. What are you referring to?
Earlier, Penth was asking you about not shivering and not feeling the cold from the water that was freezing me.
I'll be honest with you, Imogen. I was concerned that someone in this party might not be who they say they are or have the intention of what they say they are. When I dove into that water, I felt immediately warm all over, as if something was protecting me, some magical entity. As soon as I got off on my own, I checked myself for any trinkets that might have caused this, but there were none. I fear that either Gil or Renner or Penth might have an ulterior motive in this. Why they would protect me, I have no idea. But something's not right, and I don't know who I can trust. Out of all the people here, even though you in the past have not felt that you can trust me, I feel that I can trust you. But I do ask that you keep this between us until we can figure out who, for whatever reason, would be protecting me in such a way.
Absolutely, sir. And please, I apologize for my past, but you've seen what haunts me.
I have, but I can help you. Remember when those Chantry guards came into that cabin, and they said they need to take you, and no one stood up, and I stood up between them, and I turned to you, seeing the pain in your eyes, and I said no. From that moment on, we were friends.
And understand, the only humans I've ever been able to trust are Renner and yourself. And it seems Penth.
Well, time will tell with him. Go get some sleep, young one.
You should as well, Grinner.
I will in a few hours. I was overhearing the conversation. I'll stay awake until Penth is ready to take watch.
All right. So I head in and I go to sleep.
Beautiful. All right, so Penth.
That was just a moment. We had a moment. I just need some time.
I dig it.
You hear Penth farting in the background. And I thought that Carcass was
I
bad.
think we can trust him. All right.
He's trying to kill us.
Penth went to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we'll say 4 hours went by. You didn't see anything. It did get colder as the night went on, and you ended up going inside Grinner to stoke
No.
the flame. No?
No, I wouldn't go inside until my watch was over.
Oh yeah. When your watch is over, you see that the fire has died quite a bit, so you go in and you stoke it and you wake.
I would wait until Penth came out to get me.
Oh really?
Grinner was the first. Sorry, Gil was the first to watch, anyways.
Oh, was
Joe
it?
was watching. Since when?
I thought that's what it was.
Oh, Gil was under the understanding that Grinner was watching.
All right, so you would never have me come out and get you, I guess.
Well, at hour 4, I would just fire an arrow into the at your head.
Oh, it's a typical variant wake-up. Nothing
So,
softer than an arrow.
I would lean in and I would pick up a stone. I'd throw it at Penth, and then I'd go back to my post and just wait.
All right, do a dexterity check, perception, I guess. If you hit him.
I'm not trying to hurt him. 6, but maybe I will. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. Okay, so you have no problem hitting him.
I don't want to hit him. I want to hit just above his head, just the wall.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do.
Perfect.
And Penth, do a perception check, I guess.
I'm a deep sleeper.
Yeah, he's a deep sleeper. Do a perception check anyway, but you got to get like a 16 for it to.
Oh, close. 12, 15. I got it.
So
You got the roll he didn't want.
You hear the rock. That was challenging too. That was a hard check. Formidable almost, actually. Yeah.
I
so
wouldn't know it's a rock, I imagine, but I would wake up all the same.
Okay.
I would see the fire low and probably have a pretty good idea how long I've been out. And then I would see that Gil had gone to sleep, and I'd be like, son of a bitch. So then I sit up and I go towards the door, and I sit on the inside of the wall of the cave and sit there.
And I can hear you moving, and I say, "Are you going to come out and relieve me?"
Grinner! I thought Gil was taking watch.
No, he was not.
I'm up now. You can go to bed.
Well, come out and relieve me, and I'll go to bed.
Why should I be out in the cold?
So you can watch anyone approaching?
If anyone puts their head in here, I'll chop it off, trust me.
Does that include me when I come back in?
Well, you did tell me to shut up earlier. But
Because you talk a lot, Penth, with nothing to say.
Oh shit.
I said, nope, I'm not going to cut your head off. And I pull out my sword.
I can hear you unsheath your sword, Penth.
I'm just polishing.
Why don't you come out here and we can talk like men? Or you can cower in the cave.
Finally, he gets to me, and I crawl out of the cave. I said, what was that about me being a coward?
You were cowering in the cave.
And I punch
thought
him
it very
right in the face.
factual.
I
Punch
punch
him
him
in the
right in the face. Sure do. So, 10, 11, 14.
14. What's your defense, Grinner?
11.
11. It hits.
How much damage?
9.
9 damage. Oh, he's
All
really-
right.
He didn't even pull back.
He is a hard hitter.
Oh,
It'd be 9 non-lethal, but yes, 9 damage.
That's fine. I'm at 27 health.
armor still does take it technically.
Oh, right.
Grinner, if you want to have
31
words with
health.
me, time.
And I stand up and I say, do you feel better now?
Starting to.
Would you like to go again?
And I hit him again.
Oh shit.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Goes to the attacker. It hits just barely.
What are we attacking? Is it each other?
He taunted me again. So I got 8.
So 4 damage more. 23. And I stand up. And I say, would you like to hit me again? Is this honorable for you?
Is it honorable for you to attack me from a distance with your words? Come and fight me like a man.
Your words hurt you, Penth. I was under the impression that only swords and arrows hurt you.
Only cowards taunt from a distance. You're all talk.
I'm
and,
standing in front of you, Penth. I can't feel like a coward when I'm standing in front of you. But you feel free to hit me again if it makes you feel strong.
I do. Hits again.
I'm coming in here because my battery died.
And another 9 damage.
You sure that was a hit? It was a
It hit with
4
it
and
hit
2.
with a 2 and a 4 and a 2.
Yeah, so that would be
Oh, yeah,
8 plus my 3.
Yeah, 11. Just barely.
Okay.
So another 9 damage.
Is there enough sound to wake everyone else?
We're outside the stone
Yeah, that's
wall.
what I thought.
Beating each other up. More or less me just beating on him.
Yeah.
Does anybody wake up?
It is a. I'll say it's pretty loud. Penth, you're talking louder than you think you are, I think.
Fair enough. That's my
Um,
nature.
we'll say, and the fire is not crackling as loudly, so we'll say average 11 to hear. Wake up. Okay, so, yeah, continue on.
And I again wipe up, very beaten this time. Continue, Pen.
You will learn a lot tonight, and I hit him again.
Okay, that hits.
And I do another 6 damage.
All right. Do a will save.
Ooh.
You.
10, 13. 15.
15. Okay. So you feel a slight chill go over you. You're not sure what it is exactly, but it just washes over you. It's probably just the adrenaline.
Fair enough.
And I stand up even bloodier now. And I go, okay. Go ahead.
Dragon die. So because he's really pissing me off. What are the dragon stunts?
Right there.
I will do Pierce Armor and Mighty Blow and a Skirmish.
Okay.
So I'll push him into the rock a little bit.
Okay.
So Pierce Armor, but
So yeah, roll your damage, and you get an extra 1d6.
11 plus 3, so 14 damage, and his armor is halved.
Okay. So I think 12 damage total.
I'm at
Okay.
4 health.
So you do another will check, Chris.
11 or 10.
10. So you throw him back into the rock, and you hear his head crack against the rock. And he cries out in pain, but as you're doing it, you shout loudly.
Yeah.
What does that sound like?
Why would I? Okay. Well,
Your will,
Yeah.
because your willpower
because
roll was low?
clearly he's taunting me.
Yep.
I just put a little bit more effort into this attack.
Yeah.
So I would just key out and be like, "Hurrah!"
All right. So as you do that, your sound echoes across the fjord and bounces off the mountains and is extremely loud. And you hear some birds flutter away from nearby trees. And then it goes back to silence. Nothing but the sound of Grinner and Yoro and heavy breathing. You can barely make out his figure in the pale moonlight.
Am I unconscious? Conscious or?
Or did you run out of HP?
No.
Okay, then no, you're not unconscious.
Where's Mike?
Okay, so with that one, you guys
battery died.
definitely
Oh.
woken up.
Who woke up?
Everybody's awake now. You turn and you see Gil standing surprisingly close in the entrance. He's got his fists clenched. He's gritting his teeth, and Renner pushes past him. He says, "What the hell is going on out here? What are you trying to do? Give us away?"
Nope, Grinner needs to be taught a lesson.
By you yelling at him in the middle of the night?
No, by me hitting him.
And he says, "What?" And he steps out, and he gets
He's a
close.
slow learner.
What's that?
I said he's a slow learner.
And he says, "Grinner, what the hell happened to you?" As he gets close to you.
And I just cough blood at him.
Jesus. And he jumps back, and he says, "Penth, you're responsible for this?"
No, he is.
All right, you guys, what am I supposed to do? Hey? You guys haven't been getting along
I
since...
say, I put my hand up and tell him to be quiet. I said, the lesson isn't finished, I don't think.
And I turn to Penth and I say, "Not at all." And I get up and I say, "Penth, do you have any more to say?"
And I hit him again.
Okay,
Or
you
try
go to swing to him. Swing at him. And what's your attack?
I missed by one.
You miss.
Oh,
Okay.
no, sorry, I would've- if I hit you, I would have hit.
Renner jumps in the way and he grabs your hand. And he says, "Is this really how you do things?
Yes.
You fight people till they're bloody?"
When they have an issue with me, we discuss it.
He's not even hitting you back.
Because he's too cowardice.
Because he's too coward. What the hell?
He
I'm
does
not
not
hitting you right
respect
now.
me.
Does that make me a coward?
He does not respect me enough to come forward with his issues with me.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're listening very well.
He attacks me from a distance with words in the same way that he would use an arrow.
And Gil steps out and says, like, Renner is arguing with you, Penth, that you are in the wrong. And Gil steps out and says, "Yeah, but Penth's been acting all high and mighty ever since we laid eyes on him. You know the way he's acting." Yes.
Penth? Okay.
Penth has.
I say, fine. If you guys don't want me in your company, I do not have to continue.
And oh, sorry, no, yeah. And Renner says, "I didn't say that." And Gil, stay out of this right now. I'm tired. We're all tired right now. We've been traveling for a long time.
Green, are you tired?
I am quite beat, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were done?
Do you have any more to say, Penth?
Sure do. Can I try to attack him again?
Renner is in your way. He's going to have full cover.
I'm going to aim then.
Okay.
How much do you get +1 for aim?
Yeah.
14. 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. With Renner standing in the way, it's a miss. Because he gets a 5 to defense, I believe, or 3 to defense, or something. Yeah, 3 to defense.
And it hits.
And then it hits. But he managed to glance through.
So I knock him out.
All right. So, your fist cracks against Grinner's head. And
How much damage?
9. But non-lethal.
So you just go down to 0.
Okay.
Okay, so Grinner is unconscious. And he slumps down onto the rock, and Gil very quickly jumps down, and he tries to soften your fall, but you do hit the ground quite hard. And Grinner is shocked, and you can tell he's spitting at you, basically, Penth. and saying, "Why the hell would you do this to someone?"
Because he doesn't respect me.
So you expect everybody to respect you?
Yes.
Why?
Everybody.
What have
Except
you
for people.
done to make him want to respect you, huh? How can you respect someone? How can I can't respect you? Are you going to punch me now? You just punched someone till they were unconscious.
Yes, he will wake, and maybe he'll think differently.
Renner shakes his head and goes back inside. And it's just Gil, and Gil is leaning over Grinner, and he's saying a few things. He's we're almost there. Don't worry, we're almost there. We're gonna make it. You just hang in there. And Grinner, you're kind of conscious still.
I walk by Gil and I say, he'll be up. Just leave him be. Bring him into where the warmth is. He'll be awake in a few minutes.
I didn't ask your opinion, Avar. He snarls at you.
So I'm like sort of conscious.
You're sort of conscious, but you can't really say anything with your. You can't.
I just make this face at Penn.
Sorry.
You can't see it, Beth. You can't see it.
I turn around and I put my butt on his lips. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I walk away. Actually, no. I would go into where the fire is.
Yeah. Okay. So you go back in there, and right now it's
I wake up Imogen if he's not awake already. I say, Imogen, Grinner probably needs some healing.
All right. I will go heal. So I'll use 3 mana. And so he will get back 3d6.
Oh, does he roll? Or does he?
There we go. So 7 points of health back. Shall we? Because I imagine resting through the night. Well, you know what? I'll do another 3. There you go. So another 8.
Another 8?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Although I didn't roll to do the target number. But, oh well, we're past that now.
Too late.
I think me and Grinner have had a breakthrough. No, Grinner? No, Harlan?
Grinner? Where is he now? Where am I now?
You're back in the camp. Gil helped you back in.
Oh, okay. And I've woken up?
Yep.
Okay.
You're pretty tired though. Like you don't have a lot of energy to say much. Like not only
I still
did you
talk.
just take a beating.
And I turn to Penth and I say, "Do you feel better now, Penth?"
Can drink this book better tomorrow.
I say nothing to him. I say, foolish child.
And I say, "Dishonorable." And I go to bed.
I say, do you want to go back outside?
I say, "Penth, you can drag me out and beat me to a bloody pulp. It would not change that you are one of the most dishonorable people I have ever met. Sleep tight." And then I turn and go to bed.
And in the way of you, Penth, as you're about to say something, and he says, "Didn't you say you were going to be on watch?"
I say, I don't think I have enough respect for this party to be on watch. I can't work with someone like that.
Listen, he's hired on just like you. This is all part of being a mercenary. You're making money for your hold, correct?
Right.
Well, then, doesn't that take precedence over whether or not you get along with everyone? What do you think? What do you think your leaders would say if you came back without completing your task?
I would start a new task.
Very well.
If you hire a bunch of people who don't respect one another, it will never work. All I'm looking for is, what's that?
Said we're almost done. We're almost there, and then you guys can be away from each other, and you don't have to see him at all in your life if you want to, but as long as I am paying you, as long as I am your benefactor, I guess, I would really respect it if you could just try to get along for the last few days. I have a
Okay.
feeling that we're not very far from Redhold.
I say I will get you to Redhold, but then we have to consider I will reconsider my service to you at that point.
All right, that's good enough for me.
So I crawl out of the cave and I sit on the outside to watch.
All right. So you're watching. Everybody else is asleep, and at some point, you wake up, you feel a pat on your shoulder, and Renner's there, and he says, "All right, you can go get some rest. I can finish the rest of the watch. Won't be long till daybreak.
Okay.
Want you to be fully rested."
Yep.
Okay, so you hear a heavy breath as Renner must have been holding in some intense breath. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. He was holding up a lot of steam just by coming up to talking. Yeah, a lot of tension. So anyways, you go to bed, and a couple hours later, Renner wakes everybody up and says, "All right, you merry band of adventurers, let's get on our way."
Did I heal any more in the night?
Yes, you did. Healing. 6 hours of restful sleep restores 10 plus Constitution plus level in health.
10 plus Constitution plus level in health?
Yes.
What does level in health mean?
What's your Constitution?
2.
Okay, so 2 plus level 2 is 4, and then plus 10 is 14, so you heal 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So level in health means that. Okay, perfect. Sure, I'm at 29. Oops, yeah.
All right. So you guys continue on the path, and the day is overcast, and it looks like pretty heavy clouds. There are some flakes of snow that are passing by you, and
GM, can I ask you a question? Sorry. That was rude. Why was I rolling willpower saves?
Probably because Gil was trying to hold you.
Is that not like nothing I can know? Is that like
that's kind of meta. You did feel a chill, but that could have been
okay?
something.
So that's enough. As long as that's fine.
Yeah.
Restrained.
Is there anything else that you wanted to ask before we
No,
move on?
sorry. That's
Okay.
good.
So the party naturally is pretty quiet today. Gil doesn't seem to have much to say, and every now and then he glances some pretty intense glares at Pensway. Renner is at the lead most of the time. You can tell he's just trying to get to Redhold as quickly as possible, and because of that, you guys are going at a pretty steady clip. And eventually you
Never worked so well today.
eventually you round a bend and you see smoke on the horizon, and you continue to pass a few more of those red flagged posts, and Renner turns and he says, "All right, well, looks like our journey is coming to fruition." I believe that is Redhold there that we see. Should only be about 45 minutes now or so. Okay, so you continue on. Everybody nods stoically. You continue on.
Half an hour.
Walking through the forest, you make your way to the edge of trees, and Renner stops you and says, "I guess I should have done this earlier. The edge of the trees, from the edge of trees, you can see Redhold there, and there's about 100 yards between the edge of the trees and Redhold, and you know that as soon as you step out of the trees, someone from the top of the tower, which has walls and turrets, will most likely notice you if there are guards there, because it is daytime and it's pretty light out. So Renner says, so in terms of our behavior in the camp, if we're going to be working with these Avars to let us into Black Sleet Tower, I have a feeling we're going to have to be on our best behavior. I feel like that should go without saying.
Of course.
Right.
I was.
I'll fill you in a bit more of my plan. Okay. Basically, I want to open up trade with the Thane of this keep. I don't know much about the Thane, so we're going to be doing a lot of playing by ear. But basically what I'm offering to trade is various spices from the lowlands that they do not have access to here. I know that the Avars do love their food and their drink, so these spices will likely be of welcome to them. It is not very common for lowlanders to trade with the Avars. In fact, I can't think of a single case where it has successfully happened. Most lowlanders are turned away. So if you can think of any possible reason that they might want to let us in, then we will then please voice it, and we'll incorporate that into the plan.
Penth is an Avar. Does he have any connections with these people?
Well, yes, that is the very reason why I brought Penth along, is that if there was an Avar with the party, there is a chance that they would treat him with respect and appreciate him, and be more likely to accept us. It could go the other way, but I have a feeling it won't.
Do Avars, I mean, I know my character speaks trade tongue. Do they speak, can everyone speak trade tongue?
Well, this Savarian hold is pretty deep in the Frostback, so there is a chance that they don't. But judging by the size of it and the fact that Gil told me that there was a dwarf that came through here who told us about Black Sleet Tower, it leads me to believe that they do speak the trade tongue. Because the dwarf likely doesn't speak their native tongue.
So am I going to have to translate for anyone or no?
I doubt it. I doubt it. We all speak the trade tongue.
Good.
If by the off chance we do encounter any of ours of note that do not, then yes, we will need your translating abilities.
Will our numbers help or hinder us?
That is a good question. I doubt that they will feel insecure with 4 lowlanders approaching the hold. My understanding is the Avars are quite proud, and they see lowlanders as weak in comparison. So
I suggested Grinner. I don't say anything to Grinner.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys can think might be important? Anything you'd like to know about the plan?
No, I don't think so. Penth, do you think that you can interact with these people?
I don't even look at him.
Oh, can you not see? Are you?
Hey,
He's hanging his head in shame. Fair enough. Let us continue.
All right.
Excuse me, sorry, Renner.
Renner. Oh, sorry.
I just want to know, opening up the trade, because you haven't spoken of that before, what this has to do with finding the wind amulet.
About why I want it?
No, about how it aids in our cause of finding the wind amulet.
Yeah, are you planning on trading for the wind amulet?
Well, my understanding from the dwarf is that the only way to access the Black Sleet Tower is through the Avars. The Avars here hold the key. Now, there might be other ways into Black Sleet, but I do think that this is probably the easiest way.
Are we planning on stealing the wind amulet?
No, that is a good question. if the Avars do own this tower, essentially, that's my understanding at least. I could be wrong, but um, if we are doing a trade, then yes, of course, the wind amulet will be as a part of the trade. If they do, of course, own the tower, if they simply own the access to the tower, then I don't consider it stealing.
They would.
Well, what I mean to
Say the VAR people would want to know this is their land and obviously sacred to them. So if anything, any business that you guys tend to do on this land, they will want to know about. So there is no stealing from them. And I want to make this very clear. I will not help this party steal from my people. We can ask them for permission to take it, but we can't just take it.
So what you're saying is, even if they don't directly own the tower, it's on their land, so they consider it theirs.
Yes. At least
And
the information,
anything
the knowledge of what we're doing here and what we take from the land, yes, absolutely.
So regardless, without speaking openly and trading openly, then we would be considered stealing.
Yes, but I see no reason why the Avar would want anything to do necessarily with a trinket like that. So I'm sure they would be ready to trade, especially if we have things to offer, such as the pelt that we now have.
Yes, you raise some good points, Penth.
Rainer, perhaps it's best, though, that we keep our weapons in plain sight, but perhaps the gilded bow that was picked up in the ruins should be hidden a little bit, because that might not draw much respect.
Sure.
So you're suggesting that when we walk across these plains, we make all of our weapons visible?
Absolutely. No person would come this far without weapons. Anyone who hides them is clearly untrustworthy.
I can see where you're going with that. Some people may consider it a threat to be holding weapons in the open, but I think in this case you're definitely right, Penth. It would be wiser to hold out our weapons.
No, I think you misunderstand, Renner. I think he's just saying wear them openly.
Yes.
Don't keep a concealed dagger.
Ah, right, yeah.
But
Okay.
sword, feel free to wear it proudly at your waist.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So you don't
Hold my quarterstaff thusly.
Yeah. All right.
I said weapons.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to go over before we try this? Now, there is a chance, I'm not going to lie, that the Avars will kill us outright. I hope that isn't the case, but it has crossed my mind as something that could
I think
potentially
that's a misconception of, like the barbarians you fought in the mountain, that Avar people are all like that, and they aren't.
Well, I hope you're right, Penth.
Would it benefit to send an ambassador beforehand? Penth, maybe you'd want to go ahead and tell them that we're coming.
I can do that if it best suits your needs, Renner.
Renner says, yes, that may actually be a wonderful idea. You'd probably have to tell them that we are mostly lowlanders, aside from yourself, just so that there aren't any surprises when you say you have a group of friends that want to enter.
Absolutely. I would obviously tell them about the elf, which they might be intrigued by.
Very true. Yes, I do not at all oppose you acting as ambassador. So, do you think we should all walk up together, and then you do all the talking, or should we wait back here and stay out of sight?
I don't want to give them the impression that we are afraid or hiding anything, so we should all go together, but perhaps I will lead.
Understandable. All right. You hear that, Gil? And Gil kind of snorts and doesn't say anything, and Renner says, oh, that's good enough for me. All right, we'll follow your lead, Penth.
Like Renner. Yep. So I will walk forward a few feet in front, like a couple meters ahead of the other group.
Okay. So as you're walking forward, making your way across the plains, well, you do see that this used to be forested, but the forest has been cut back. quite a large amount, I guess, for farming. And you make your way forward, and in the distance you see some figures appear on the wall. And as you get closer, you can see that there's about 6 of them holding bows, standing at various lengths across the front of the tower. And immediately you shake your head, you see them, and you're like, "What the heck is this?" Um, but they do have them, and you make your way forward, and you get about 40 yards away from the tower or the hold before you think it's a good time to stop. So you stop. You're waiting there for a few minutes. You're looking at these guards, and eventually a tall figure steps up in between the 2 center ones, right above these 2 large wooden gates. Actually, you know what? I've got some description here. I can read. I don't know why I'm not. Give me 2 seconds here.
1, 2.
Okay. As you reach a spot some 25 yards from the gates, a strong voice rings out. "That's far enough, lowlanders." A solid man in his 40s, with silvery hair held back by a metal circlet, appears atop the wall near the gate. The man considers you all briefly before dryly noting, "We generally don't accept tourists till Draconis at earliest," to faint laughter from several of the others along the wall. "I am Thane Owen o' Redhold. Who are you and what brings you here?"
I speak up and say, "I am Penth Arete o Terrell Clan Amir. And may the winter have changed you for the better. We are here on journey from the lowlands, yes. We hope to make business with your clan in order to... we look for an artifact in the tower that is within your realm."
"You wish entrance into Blacksleet Tower?"
With your permission.
And we have gifts and trade.
And my elf friend here has reminded me, and he hands me the pelt and the different things. We have things to offer for our passage.
And you see the man squint, and the other guards are kind of looking out too, and a few of them
I say,
kind of...
yeah, I say it's a humble gift, but it is a pelt from a red lion slain upon the mountains.
And he smiles at you and says, "How did you come across this pelt?"
Slain is such a a loose term.
No one's talking. I think others. So I say I removed the pelt myself from the animal, and we stayed in its cave overnight.
Do a communication roll.
Great. Not bad. 11. 11.
Okay. So he says, "Well,
I never lie. Well, it's slain.
that is
We didn't
really... Well, yeah, it is still kind of... You're not telling him the whole truth, but it
Right.
doesn't matter." He says, "Well, I admit, traveler, that is an admirable feat and worthy of our respect. But you wish to trade for access into something that I cannot give you, unfortunately. I'd be more than happy to, with the acceptance of this gift, maybe let you enter Redhold, and I will treat you as my family for 3 days, as is customary with travelers. I will ignore the fact that you are with lowlanders, but this pelt does seem interesting. We are called Redhold for a reason, after all."
Yeah, and I speak up to him and I say, "You know that I am from the clan Amir, and that we survive by offering services as mercenaries to lowlanders. This would greatly help me in my journey, and I appreciate it. The 3 days, perhaps getting to know you as family, would help you with understanding our cause, and we will come to a better understanding."
You say you're from Clan Amir,
I am.
and we have much to discuss. Open the gates. And at that, you hear some loud metal grinding as the gears creak towards you, and you are let inside. And as you are walking in, you hear a guard shouting out, "Make sure you have your weapons at the ready, and be willing to hand them over as soon as you are asked."
Okay. And I yell back, I say, "This is very different from what I am used to, but if this is how you hope the family would act, then I will act in such a way."
And the big man, the Thane, he's walking down off of the balcony, I guess, the top of the gate, and he says, "Why are you afraid to part with your weapon, Amir?"
I'm not Are you afraid to part with your... Well, that sounds like a threat.
Come on, out with it.
I say, parting with my weapon would be as I part with a part of me, my arm, my hand. Yes, I am slightly afraid of parting with that, as it is a tool that I would use.
Then he kind of chuckles at that, and he reaches into his belt, and he pulls out a long sword, and you see it's beautifully carved, and it's nothing like anything you've seen before. No, actually, you might have seen swords similar, but you know that these swords possess some magical ability. And he tosses it on the ground, and he says, "Am I any less a man?"
I laugh and I say, I just laugh and I unsheath my belt and I say, "Very well. I don't need it, not in a safe place like this anyways."
And he says, "Good." So looking around, you see that there are about 10 guards around you. You know, what you'd expect. It's not like a ridiculous amount. You do see some villagers have crowded around a bit and are looking from their windows in their houses.
Can I take that back? I would have taken my sword off and placed it down. I would not have tossed it as if it was worthless.
Okay.
Because I respect it, right? I'm not going to do something that's like, "Oh yeah, you're right, ha ha ha." I'd be like, reluctantly, place it down, maybe bow to it, and step back.
Okay, interesting. And he says, "You obviously respect your blade quite a lot."
Anyways, continue.
Okay, so yeah, you see there are villagers around, and everybody, like a few guards, take your weapons. And he says, "You do not have to worry. Your weapons will be in safekeeping here in the guard's house. If you do at any time want to see them, maybe you would like to kiss them perhaps, depending on how much you love them, then you just let the guard know and he will let you do it under supervision, of course. I do have a people to protect."
Sorry, quick question. My quarterstaff, do they consider that a weapon? Or is that like a walking stick for them?
They laugh at you when you go to hand over your quarterstaff, and they say, "It is a big stick. Move them around if you want."
Excellent. And then I also take off my hood to show my pointy little ears and such.
And he says the same of your short sword, Grinner, and your dagger. He says, "These are little more than cutlery."
I use them to pick the food out of my teeth after I eat.
Wow. That is very impressive, Lowlander.
I believe them. His gums are so swollen.
I don't know how I got these scars.
Trying to use my dagger to pick my teeth.
Nothing to do with last night's encounter.
All right. So you guys talk for a little bit while longer with the Thane, and
I'd stick close to Imogen, FYI's.
Renner introduces himself, and as you're talking, Imogen, you're kind of looking around. You're not really engaged in the conversation as much as Renner and Penth are. And you see standing by a corner of the house, you see an old lady with long white hair, and you squint a little bit, and you make out that she has one eye that is completely white.
Yeah, she does.
And she sees you there, and she's holding a quarterstaff herself, and she's like holding her weight on it, and she nods to you knowingly.
I nod back.
She wants you, dude.
I'm extremely saddened by the short lifespan of the humans, and I'm reminded just how fragile all humans are.
Speak for yourself, squish your way.
Again, not necessarily in their prime. And again, I let that be a reminder to me as to why they're always so impatient. Because they have so little time to get things done.
Okay.
See if does it seem improper? I guess it would, because we're in conversation with the Thane, for me to walk over to her at this time.
Well, at this point, the Thane says, "All right, then we're in agreement." And basically, you have agreed that for your 3-night stay, you will spend each dinner with the Thane and his family, and
It's a great honor.
Gil will provide the cooking with all the different spices in order to try and convince Thane to let them into Black Slate Tower, which he doesn't seem to have budged on, but he says, "I will give you 3 nights to attempt it. But you can shower with me with as many goods as you like."
We can shower with them?
Shower. Do you wish to shower with me, Lowlander?
It's the mirror. It's the
The mirror.
Avaran way.
Do you find it funny, the idea of showering with another human body? Is there something shameful in this?
Yeah, guys.
I wouldn't have actually said that.
I saw you were thinking it. Okay, so yes, with that he says, so until dinner time, you are welcome to travel around Redhold. I will give you this map that I carry on me. No, he says, Lukel.
There's a kiosk that says information on it.
And so he shows you a map, and he says, here, one second, actually. Let me pull up a map. Is there anything else you guys want to ask the Thane before he retires back to his...
I have lots to talk to him about, but I imagine we're supposed to do that at dinner.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk to him about that at dinner time.
I want to see where... I'm watching Imogen watch that sexy old lady.
And I actually, if there's any places we should not go so that we do not offend accidentally.
Don't go into the lower dungeon.
Not the West Wing!
Not the West Wing!
The West Wing, that's what I was trying to think of.
Is there anywhere that you should not go? Okay, well, I'll share the map. And he says, this is just a basic map. It's not exact.
It's on a piece of napkin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, if you've been traveling for a long time, which I have no doubt that you have, the Hunter's Lodge would be a good place to go if you want a good cold ale.
If you're looking for a cold ale, stop by the Hunter's Lodge.
Sure, you tip your waitress.
And when you are ready for dinner, meet me at the Longhouse. It says Thane's Longhouse here. I am the Thane. I'm not too sure what the rookeries are.
I own a lot of buildings.
We have the shrine that we go and we worship daily to the old gods. No, there are gods, now not the old gods. They're the old gods to you lowlanders. And then there's the sacred animal pit, which is where we will be putting our newest addition to the collection, He says, nodding at the red lion pelt.
A rookery is where they breed and keep the rooks,
I was gonna bring that up
What the hell's
using
a
my
rook?
nature
which are
lore.
basically crows.
No, they're like priests or something, aren't they?
No, it's a colony of breeding animals, generally birds.
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking messenger
And central
yeah,
member of the
okay.
crow family.
messenger
sense.
crows, and I'm going to be going there first.
Well, no wonder I don't know what it is. I don't like birds.
I bet you he's gonna send a message about me to the other people again.
Okay. So that is your
A
introduction.
little bit
to,
into yourself, Jesus. Just going to write home
That-
my wife.
That is your introduction to Red Hold. We're going to end it there tonight. There's lots to.
Let's see your face, Justin. See your face. There we go.
Oh, so relaxing. I can see you again.
Yes, you can see me again. So, yeah, that's where we're going to end it today.
Brilliant.
Might be some questions on your mind as to
Who done it? Who's the murderer?
who done it.
Attacked the woman with the crowbar in the library, in the study.
Okay, but then there's also who is that old lady around the corner? The old lady that was nodding at Imogen. Why was she
My
nodding at
question is,
Imogen?
how is this any different from a normal civilization?
What do you mean in normal civilization?
Well, it's just my people are so against like the civilization and like all the the farming and all the lavishness of it all, and then these people have basically a city.
Yep. Also keep in mind that the Thane welcomed lowlanders much more easily than you would have expected from
Right.
any of our.
He's a lowlander in disguise.
Basically,
He's a transformer.
And yeah, it didn't take him very long to warm up to you guys. There are, I will note that there are some guards and some villagers who are eyeing you suspiciously.
Sexy or evil?
Both.
oh, that's the best.
Yeah. More questions regarding the party as to is there strange stuff going on? What happened when Grinner fell into the water there? And then, yeah, why do they want to talk to you, Penth? So, anyways, lots of questions. I hope that you guys have lots to think about, and thank you for playing.
Yes, and on that note, if you do have any questions that you want us to ask for next week, feel free to email or tweet us because, frankly, I don't really know where to start. So it'd be a good idea if someone wanted to suggest some things for us. Excellent. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, you can follow us at at Invictus Stream. Please like, subscribe, and all that stuff to our YouTube channels. We're going to be back here next Wednesday at 8 o'clock with another game. And if we can all be here, it's going to be Dragon Age episode 8 or 7? 8.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 more Dragon Age episodes.
Part 8, yeah, which gives us 3 more Dragon Ages. If for whatever reason we can't all be here, then we're probably going to do a pickup game of something fun and crazy. So again, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time. Goodbye.
Bye.